I'll read the whole thing. That's
All
fine.
right, go ahead, Rob.
Act 1. The land takes them. Point 1. The crossing. A wagon creaks across the rugged hill country west of the former Alamo standoff with the newly minted Republic of Texas. The father drives, axe and rifle at his side. The mother clutches their boy against the wind. Dialogue establishes promise. The Republic is young, but so are we. This land's ours now. Number 2. Arrival at the cabin. The cabin sits lonely under the live oaks, rough hewn, abandoned, scars of weather and fire in its wood. The father circles with rifle raised after hearing whispers in the wind, while mother and boy step inside, empty, still, M dash, but claimed at a home of their own. 3. Claiming the cabin. They light a fire. The father nails a page from a Texas newspaper about the land grab in the former Mexican territory to the wall as a charm. Close up on gouges on the log walls, M dash, deep claw marks. Single ellipses. Number 4, supper in the wilderness. Parenthetically, think the witch, setting the eerie tone of the whole story by candle and firelight. Ellipses. By lantern, the boy asks, did folk live here before? The father answers, doesn't matter. They're gone now. The mother holds her Bible tight and says a prayer. Number 5. Silence outside. First night. Coyotes howl, then cut off. The prairie goes dead silent. The father steps out to protect his goats, rifle in hand. The wind stops. Ominous dread. Number 6. Bones in the dust. Fetching water at dawn, the father finds bones in a dry creek bed. Half animal, half human. Teeth marks carved into the marrow. 7. A toy that shouldn't be. The boy finds a crude doll made of sticks and sinew, tied with old leather on the porch. He names it. Mother tells father to burn it. He does. That night, another doll waits, dripping wet on the porch steps. 8. Strange carvings. The father scrapes symbols from the logs, primitive, violent scratches, not decorative, territorial. The mother mentions she doesn't feel good energy here. She asks again, who told him about this abandoned property? The father brushes her off. They traveled so far and have been through too much to deter his stubborn self from this place. 9. Watching ridge. At dusk, 3 shapes appear silhouetted against the jagged hills, immobile, staring. Father blinks. Gone. 10. First terror. Night. A knock, knock, knock at the cabin door. Scratch at the shutters. Boy screams. Father fires rifle into the dark. Silence presses in. Act 2. Things that shouldn't be. 11. The vanished axe. Next morning, the father's axe is missing from the stump. Only muddy footprints trail away into the mesquite.
The barbecue sauce?
Rotting journal. In the loft, mother finds a decayed leather journal. Pages whisper, starvation, madness. We ate the little one first, then her mother. She hides it. 13. Goat's head. The boy's adored goat. He runs to its pen, screams. Its severed head. Its head lies severed in the mud. Eyes gouged, flies buzzing. Its body gone. The mother vomits. The boy sobs, inconsolable. 14. Lantern ring. Father sets lantern in a perimeter. At midnight, each flame sputters out, one by one, as if breathed on. 15. Glimpse of the mask. For the first time, a figure steps briefly into the lantern glow, a burlap mask stitched not just from sackcloth, but pieces of shriveled, leathery human skin. Holes cut unevenly. It vanishes. Mother, dear God, help us. We need to get out of here, Abraham. 16. Totem on the door. At dawn, a totem nailed to the cabin. A cluster of animal bones. A child's shoe. Horsehair braided through it. 17. The whispers. Hunting the ridge. The father hears laughter, shrill, childlike, echoing. Shadows dart between the rocks. He returns empty-handed. 18. Blood in the coop. Chicken coop smashed, feathers thick in the air. A bloody hex smeared on the cabin wall. 19. The whistle, nightfall. A whistle pierces the dark, shrill, inhuman. It circles the cabin, then a second joins, then a third. Always moving, always watching. The father loads up his shotgun and rifle and hands one to mother. 20. The offering. At sunrise, a carcass is on their table. Not an animal, a twisted bundle of human arms hacked at the elbow, arranged like flowers. The boy sobs. Brother starts to go mad. She insists they must leave. They must. John finally relents, but the horses are gone. Act 3. The one night siege. 21. Rope at the door. Father opens the door. It yanks outward violently. He barely wrestles it closed. The walls shake with pounding fists. 22. Faces in the windows. 3 grotesque masks pressed against the glass at once. Stitching of skin, holes stretched wide. They vanish before the gun goes off. 23. The boy taken. The boy is snatched from his bed out a back window. The father goes after him, but to no avail. Hours later, the door creaks open. He stumbles in, terrified, muddy, bloody. One of his ears is gone, chewed off. 24. Writing on the walls. Outside the cabin, fresh smears of blood, handprints streak across every wall as if painted while they slept. 25. Traps laid. Father rigs bottles, wires, lantern oil, booby traps all around the house and outside. He mutters, I won't let them take our land. Mother, this ain't our land, never was. 26. First entry. The fattest, most grotesque cannibal lumbers in from the back of the cabin. The young boy hacks at him with the axe, but misses. The masked intruder throws the boy across the room, grabs the axe. Mother screams for her son to run. The fat man lifts the axe. In one savage swipe, his head rolls into the doorway. The mother collapses as her son's head rolls to her feet. The axe returned. The father shoots outside the front door at the tall intruder and misses in the darkness. Turns to his wife, screams to see his dead son. In the stillness of his shock, the father's own axe flies across the room, buries into his chest. He stumbles, gasping. The tall intruder runs back out of the darkness and tackles the father, jams his filthy fingers into the father's eye sockets, and rips his throat open with his rotten teeth. Blood showers. 29. The laughing woman. Inside, the female masked intruder steps in from the darkness, hums a lullaby. Her mask sags with strips of skin. She calmly walks towards the mother, but the mother fights back in manic rage. A feral fight ends with the mother plunging a knife into her, grabbing her husband's shotgun and blasting her against the cabin wall. 30. The fat one's feast. The grotesque animal squats over the father's corpse, gnawing through his raw rib cage. Mother runs out of the cabin with a shotgun, watches in horror as he chews, smiling blood-toothed. She fires, misses, out of bullets, runs. Act 4. Gonzo Dawn. 31. Flight. The mother bursts into the thickets, running for her life, drenched in blood. Hill country woods and thickets stretches endless. She stumbles toward dawn. 32. The boy in the clearing. She spots a child on the ridge as the sun starts to rise. Younger, small. She begs, please help me. He turns. His face is twisted, inbred, his smile broken. 33. The arrow. She spins as an arrow whistles through the air, slams into her skull. She drops, twitching. 34. Dragged back. Her body is dragged across limestone and mesquite by grotesque hands. Fingers trail through her hair. 35. The cave mouth. They carry her into a yawning cave. Torches burn. The air is thick with rot. 36. Burlap shrine. Inside, dozens of masks hang like trophies, some made of sack, others skin. Flies swarm. Bones crunch underfoot. 37. The childlike choir. From the shadows, more shapes stir. Dozens of inbred children and women humming in unison. The sound is a nightmare. 38. The mother's eyes. Her last flicker of life watches the masks away in torchlight. 39. The final bite. The fat one bends down, teeth rotten, and bites into her cheek. 40. Closing image. The wide shot of hill country. Dawn. Peaceful. Birds sing. The land looks empty and innocent, but under the earth, screams echo. Fade out till the next homesteaders.
All right, Danny, what did you think of that?
Nice things first. Okay, there is a lot of cool gore and blood and guts.
Yeah.
This film, or this outline, very effectively channels the back half of Dusk Till Dawn.
Okay. Yeah. The back half. I mean,
the vampires.
Okay. Yeah. No. Yeah. Okay. Sure. All right. Fair enough. I mean, I feel like Dusk Till Dawn was a little more lighthearted. I felt like the good guys won. I feel like this one, I felt more.
Okay, fine.
Okay,
it's a perfectly good rendition of the middle part of The Evil Dead.
Okay, there we go. All right, fine. Robert, what did you think?
It's nonstop gore. There doesn't seem to be anything but guerrilla attacks, if you will.
Yes,
this is constructive. Yeah, nice things first.
Yeah,
there's guerrilla attacks. There is a lot of interesting, violent moments that occur, and there's a threat pervasive throughout as they get to it. There's the uneasiness that's both instinctual and visceral. So those are good things.
John.
I think it is a perfectly low budget horror filmable story outline.
Well, that was what I asked for. So yes, it does meet that, and I appreciate it.
Yes. Those are hard to write and hard to conceptualize. Limiting a small number of people to a singular location. And that can be tricky to make it to keep interest. But I feel like if you have a gore fetish, then this will definitely probably keep your interest.
Okay. Diane?
Well, the gore nut in me quite likes it. All the gore.
Yeah.
See? But
I figure Sandy and Tate will have fun.
See, that's what I figured. Like as I was being read, I'm like, I can see Sandy and Tate
are gonna love
are gonna love this. They're gonna love this. And it is all can be done practically.
Yeah.
Practically. Am I able to get into criticisms?
Go ahead.
Yeah, okay.
Sure. All
right. There isn't much room to breathe. There isn't enough like softer moments where we kind of like trying to figure out like what's going on, how's happening,
right,
and all that. But then again, it's an outline, so I still don't know how the corpse ended up in the table because it just says there's a corpse on the table. How did it get there? No explanation.
They're magic, like hobbits.
Yeah, that's what I figured. I was just like, it's not an animal. I'm like, oh, okay, it's an animal. Okay, how did it get there? So still no explanation. And then as the story goes on, I'm going, there's still an animal on the table and no one has explained it.
Yeah.
So I could see this be done low budget and all that. I do wish it had more, what is it? Connective tissue.
Connective tissue is a biological term.
No,
what
well,
do you want
like
in this story?
It comes out as like all these happenstances are here, but I don't know where it's going to go. So
well, I mean, there are people menacing them.
Yeah.
Increasingly.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like we know where it's going to go in that regard.
I'm going to disagree. Based on the outline, there's a bunch of stuff happening to people in a farm for 2.5 acts before a whole gang of cannibals shows up.
Yeah,
murderizing everybody, and then there's an act 4 for no reason. Like, so we don't need any of that. Nobody wants anything. Nobody tries to escape. They just sit there having terrorization happen to them.
It's a very much like
just
if this
torture
happens,
porn.
The outline
If you're gonna
said-
do porn, just do porn and don't put a story on it. Just go and do it. Like none of the setting matters. None of the characters matter. The location doesn't matter. The cannibals just come out of nowhere and are just
the cannibals
terrorizing these
are
people.
foreshadowed. I mean, like
if you're cannibals, like the humans are just thing you want to eat. You don't need to terrorize people to eat them. You can just kill them. It's a lot faster and a lot more efficient.
Yes.
So why are these people doing this? Is like, go watch Evil Dead. That's a bunch of people in a cabin in the woods with a bunch of bullshit happening. And there is setup before any of the payoffs. This is all payoff. It's just watching porn.
Okay.
You got to set stuff up before you pay it off. That's how you make a story happen.
Fair enough. All right. John.
My first comment is going to be, I don't. Okay, so my first comment is going to be, this feels very machine generated as an outline, and I know we were talking about that, and I don't particularly have a problem with that. The problem that I have with this outline from a structural standpoint is that it's very wordy where it doesn't need to be. ChatGPT has this tendency to give titles to acts and slug lines, and all of these bullet numbered points all had a title, and they don't need any of that title. They don't need numbers. Just if you want to do an outline, you just say it's Act 1, and then write a short little paragraph that explains what happened. Just tell the story in a truncated prose, and so that it's easy to read. And I think that would go a long way. I don't like how and I'm sure there was some, because I noticed a few spelling errors, so I know he did something to it. This is not a direct copy and paste from ChatGPT output. I know he did something to it because of a couple of the spelling errors. But it seemed very, very cold from copy pasting outputs. It doesn't, and I feel like if you want to share this outline for people to try to get them excited about the story, my recommendation would be clean it up, make it easy to read, easy to follow, and not with all of these numbered points with useless headings, because half the headings were repeats in the actual sentence. So they can either be cut or work the heading into the actual paragraph. And I just think that would go a long way from an outline perspective. And I think it'll just make things flow a lot easier.
I also just suggest that maybe just use a 3-act structure like a movie's supposed to.
Yes.
So that's another weird thing. Like, ChatGPT does better than that. That's why I know he did stuff to it after he got his output. But yeah, I mean, follow normal conventions. Give us a 3-act structure. At the end of each act, you're supposed to have a rising tension, and then something is supposed to happen, and I just didn't feel like we had any of that. Like Danny said, it was lacking character motivation. Like usually in olden times, like, cannibals weren't cannibals because they liked the taste of flesh. There was more ritualistic. It was religious. It was, I am consuming the flesh of my enemies to gain their power, or it's stuff like that. And I don't see any of that in here. This is just like a bunch of sadists going around and I don't understand the reason why.
In a former Mexican territory, so it does fit the current market, I suppose.
I
wasn't really going to draw attention to that, but it really rubbed me the wrong way.
there might be cannibals in the new Republic of Texas?
No, I know what he means. He means that these white settlers came in, took over the land. It's ours now, and
Yes.
there was a supernatural vengeance.
Okay. Is
Sure.
that
Which I just gave it a story, which it does not have. If I can get into the constructive soon, so.
Go
Yeah,
ahead.
yeah.
It does. Well, it does not have a story. That's the problem.
That's
It's
the
all
problem, yeah.
either jump scares or what's out there in the
Torture
dark
porn.
scares, or who's knocking on my door, and it wasn't Barnacle Bill the Sailor, but I found it. I get there's an audience for an Al Gore. There is a budget for a one location film. So those things make it on the path to being, producible. So for that purpose, Preston, I think that you've got something to work with. I would say doing a simple thing, cut it exactly in half. You could use scissors if you wanted to, because any of those things are scary. There's no doubt about that. There's no motivation as to why they're happening, which John kind of brought up and Danny is pissed off about. And I tend to agree. There's no reason for any of this happening. I kind of gave one, which Danny alluded to. And I think that's what's missing. You need a narrative that's going on. Why are they so motivated to move to this place? Why did they leave? The people who left for homesteading were people who had the shit of lives, not the people who were living well and moved. It was their only chance at making a living. That gave them the gumption to stick around. So the initial conflict is I'm staying here because they ain't taking this away from me. It's all I've got. And then the counter conflict could be, you just took our fucking land and we're going to get you. There you start to have the bones of a story.
Yeah.
Everything else is just atmosphere of crunching bones on the ground, the dead goat, gouging out the eyes sounds like vengeance. And I'm going to go with what John said is that people who were cannibals treated the people that they ate like the animals that they ate, picking up their spirits. This was a big warrior that I killed. I want his bravery, because I saw how brave he was on the battlefield. Or I'm hungry and I got to eat something, whatever it is. But if they're
There's
evil,
going to be
then
other stuff for them to eat. They can
where's the
steal
evil?
the goats. They
Yeah,
can
well-
steal there's rabbits in the
They could've eaten
forest.
the
Like
goat. Yeah, that's a good point.
yeah,
There's
and
deer,
if it's just hunger, they're just hungry because
there's
they're
no
starving
motivation.
to death.
It's not good enough. Right.
It's easier to steal a goat than it is to kill a human and cannibalize it.
And you wouldn't leave the head behind because there's protein in it. To me, there's an evil. He's writing about evil acts. You can see it in the bloody teeth. He's smiling when he kills the person. They go in there and they hunt them down. They do all this kind of stuff. What's their motivation? Where's the story? That's all. I'm going to say that's all that's missing. You don't need all these horrible acts to be in there because, frankly, if all these were in there, I'd be in the kitchen rummaging through the refrigerator for to see if there's any wine left. Not that I drink refrigerated wine. I don't want anyone to get the wrong idea. But
I like, by the way, Robert, you being anxious about us judging you for that makes me like you more.
Okay, so
I like Pitch's story, like something that actually was interesting that I thought of at the beginning of this.
what?
What's that?
Okay, so I actually really like the potential of the setting.
Okay.
Texas is bloody weird as a place,
Sure.
especially as a place in North America, because it's the only state that was its own actual country.
no,
Yes.
California was.
Sure.
Also.
Okay, fine. Texas had an embassy.
Yeah, for
in
like
London.
6 months.
Yeah, well, that's 6 months.
Texas had an embassy in London.
In sunshine
It
and
was-
beaches.
Sure. The used to be Mexico thing is really interesting because you can tap into something that is slightly less racist and deal with like cryptic, weird Catholic rituals and stuff. Like, what if it's not a family, or what if the family is like a Protestant, minister and his people are moving in before Texas goes independent, just do stuff. They found out there's a parish that's empty. They're like, well, we're gonna go take it over for Protestants, and then suddenly the locals are cannibals, and there's people who have to deal with this shit who like really want to stay there and are trying to fix these guys, and then that's like this nice tragic thing about some darkness and humanity with a whole lot of really cool cryptic imagery. And I'm sure this doesn't work because Miles doesn't have a church on his land.
Yeah, but that would work. That would work for his confidence in staying. God's going to protect him.
I know. That's why I'm pitching it. You go, like, you know, fine. They're
a manifest destiny.
They are Catholic AF. We are coming in here. We're going to do God. Make them Mormons.
Okay.
If the timeline works, I don't care about Mormons, so I don't know what the timeline is. Make them Mormons or something. Go in proselytizing. They're going to do God's work. Come hell or high water, they're going to convert these savage, non-English speaking yokels, and that's the cause of all their problems. Even if there's all these other problems too, like the fact that you're being a stranger in a strange land is inherently scary, and I think playing with that in the state of Texas is really damn interesting.
Mm-hmm.
So, as I said, it was just like a collection of happenstances. There is no story, as you said. And it was just kind of like, this happens, this happens, this happens. No particular reason why they happen. They just kind of happen. But it's really interesting that I actually watched a film called Raw Meat yesterday. And it came out in the, I want to say late 70s, early 80s. But it dealt with cannibalism in London. And basically what it was is that these people who were building and helping build a ditch for the London Underground got trapped there and were isolated, and they ended up, in order to survive, they had water, they had air pockets, but they could not they couldn't leave. So in order to survive, they eventually ate mice and eventually kind of ate themselves, in a sense, when someone died or they killed themselves. And so they ended up becoming like a society of cannibals and but they were like in the London Underground. Eventually the reconstruction of the underground, the last member of this society comes out and starts like capturing people for meat, but he also lost his mate, the second to the last person, and he finds a woman and then brings her back and tries to, you know, make this a mate as well. But so there's this weird thing where he does all these terrible things, but he's also like remarkably lonely, and he's not able to talk, but the closest thing he could say is like, mind the doors, because that's the sound of what the station master would say, like, mind the doors, as the underground train closes the doors. That's the only thing he'd say. So but it was kind of interesting seeing that being done in like a cityscape. The series that was done by like The Woman, that was like cannibals up in like Canada, which was like they lived in the forest and did all this stuff. It ended up being a trilogy. I forgot what the first film was, but it was like, there was the first film, The Woman, and I believe...
I don't normally think of Canada's...
That's exactly it. So when the writer wrote it,
yeah,
it's like when you do cannibals, usually you do it like in some South America or Africa, like tribal...
Yeah, usually it's like a hotter place.
Yeah, like a hotter place, tropical place. But I thought it was really interesting that he picked like this bizarre wooded area in between the United States and Canada, and for whatever, there's this small tribe of like of cannibals living out in the woods in basically New England / Canadian border. And I just thought like that's really weird. But it's a very well done film. So eventually they kind of like come into the city, get somebody and come out, or they get wary travelers. So you don't have to. It's amazing that they can be done, one in the modern, well, what was then the underground of the late 70s, and then you have something like modern day cannibals, like for whatever reason in the Appalachians, so, in the upper Appalachians. So I just thought that was interesting. And something like this, I do agree, is racist. But the thing is that but the problem I have is that Danny said it. It's like they reveal themselves as cannibals at like the fourth act. So,
well,
act
according
four?
to the outline.
So
Yeah,
in
fourth
the
act?
act that shouldn't exist, then the plot starts maybe happening.
Yeah, it's like fourth act. Basically, at the very end, it's like, oh, we're cannibals. I'm like, ugh. So
Evil cannibals. They're mean cannibals.
they're mean cannibals.
Well,
And
most cannibals are not nice, right?
well, it depends.
Hannibal
If you're
Lecter
doing
was
it for
perfectly
survival,
polite.
He's very polite.
No,
He's
Jeffrey
also-
Dahmer
he's also
was a
Satan.
good cook.
He's also Satan, but but there's also like the film Alive where you did it for survival. So
That's right.
Sure,
In the Andes.
in the Andes.
But that's not what's happening.
That is not what's happening here.
Nor is that the description that, like, whenever we're talking about cannibals, we're not talking about people who had to resort to it because they were stranded.
I remember when you were first reading this, I thought they were supernatural. I didn't think they were people.
Right.
Like I thought they were like ghosts or like demons or something like
demons
that.
Or some shit.
Something like that. Like
I thought it was voodoo because they had the voodoo dolls.
Yeah, they had like
voodoo,
a
No, they had the Blair Witch dolls, which is so much worse.
They did have the Blair Witch
They did
dolls.
have the Blair Witch dolls.
Yeah, they had the Blair Witch dolls. So it was something.
Like if the Blair Witch dolls were the only problem, if only.
Okay, so the opening scene actually needs to be why these people are the way they are. And that could be like a 5-minute scene that sets it up. Kind of like the scene in 2001 Space Odyssey with the apes and they discover how to kill somebody.
Yeah.
Just set it up like this, that they're that way. Then these innocent preachers come in to set up their new land and take over a parish, and they're confronted by these people. Then suddenly you've got a story, you need something.
Still somewhat problematic. But...
Well, in Raw Meat, what's really interesting is that
I
no. Let me go back.
I think Miles should pick a horror movie to rip off and just rip it off. Like honestly,
he did about 6 of them.
I think the I'm trying to be original thing is like really clashing with the vibe on this one.
All right, go ahead.
Okay, and let me give you an example back to Raw Meat is that I didn't really learn that the setup was basically like there was a possible drunk on the staircase of the underground. They had to call a cop to talk about him because he might be dead or he might be unconscious. They go back and the body disappears. And then they talk about like, hey, there was also these people who lived in this area and there's this history around that area. And then we suddenly come up with like the cannibal guy. So I was kind of like really quite intrigued by, hey, this section of this area has a legend.
John Sayles, cannibal humanistic underground dwellers.
Yeah, cannibal underground dwellers. It's like they might have survived and all this stuff. And I went, how does this guy know all this stuff? This exposition guy. We haven't even met the guy yet. We haven't met the cannibal yet. So
I am always okay with a magical plot fairy.
Yeah, so I thought that was a little weird, but it did set everything up. It did flow after that, even though I think that was kind of a magical exposition. So,
all right, fair enough. Let's see. All right, we have Cowboys versus Zombies.
Yay!
Yay!
Robert tells me this is better. So,
okay.
Exterior.
I said significantly better.
Is this a redo of the last batch?
Yes.
Yes.
So is this completely redone?
Yes, this is page 1.
I appreciate that, John.
Sorry, this is page 1?
This is page 1.
Oh shit! All right, you're really redoing it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a rewrite. It's absolutely a rewrite, and it's better.
Exterior, desert ranch night. A windmill creaks in the night air. Low bellows of cattle in the corral blend into the night sounds of crickets and the rustling of wind through the trees. Interior ranch house continuous. Milo, an old Scotch collie, lays by the fireplace, head on its paws resting. Douglas Callahan, 40s, sits nearby, smoking a pipe and reading a novel. Milo lifts his head, ears pricked up. He growls, eyes on the front door. We need a Callahan.
What is it? Go ahead.
What is it, Milo?
Milo stands, barks at the door. Callahan looks up from his book eyes on the dog. Yes, he does look up from his book eyes. As it barks again at the door. Outside, the cattle's... Okay, that's... Sure. Uneasy lowing can be
Lowing.
heard. Okay, spell the possessive plural of cattle properly then. Jesus. Can be heard seeping inside.
It's the sound they make.
Yes.
No, he's talking about the cattles. Is a possessive singular. Should be
Yeah, it
Yes.
should be
plural.
possessive plural.
You used a plural noun.
Never mind.
Anyway, whatever.
Yeah.
Not a ChatGPT script.
Callahan places...
You should be proud. You
Yeah.
should be damn proud.
You know, I'm gonna start
If
putting
ChatGPT
careful
has done
spelling
anything-
errors on like page 1 of everything, just to prove
It's
not
to give people who commit spelling errors like something to brag about. Like,
Honestly, it does humanize you. Genuinely, I think it'll actually ruin
That was
your
pretty
spelling
good, Preston.
ChatGPT
That was
because
pretty
people
good.
now have to spell it correctly. Have to. Callahan places his pipe and book on the side rising. He grabs his rifle from the wall, then lights a lantern before heading toward the door. Opening the door, Milo darts outside into the yard. Exterior ranch house yard continuous. Milo runs out into the yard barking.
Scroll.
Callahan follows him out. The corral glows faintly in the lantern light, cattle shuffling inside uneasy. Resting his rifle on his shoulder, Callahan walks across the yard toward the corral following Milo's barking. Exterior corral continuous. Callahan unlatches the gate, steps inside lantern raised. Milo stays in the yard, pacing, growling. Callahan look back at the dog as it stands outside the corral, staring into the darkness inside.
Milo, come!
Milo stands growling. Callahan walks deeper into the corral, the lantern providing barely enough light. Ooh, it's spoopy. The cattle crowd around, nervously bellowing low. Suddenly, the herd charges forward, slamming to the gate in a panicked rage. Wood posts splinter and fly in all directions. Technically, they shiver the timbers, but all right.
Oh, jeez.
Callahan whistles to Milo.
Milo, round him up!
But Milo just stands barking into the darkness. Callahan turns back toward the darkness. Thoom. The ground trembles. A deep guttural bellow from a large animal radiates from the dark. What the hell's larger than a cow? Callahan raises the lantern, steps toward the darkness. He readies the rifle. Another thoom. Closer, heavier. Hooves circle around Callahan in the darkness. Callahan turns, lantern outstretched following the sound as it circles him. In the dark, two glowing eyes flare in the black. Milo barks, takes off running. The beast lunges from the darkness. In panic, Callahan drops the lantern, raising the rifle. The beast slams him. A horn pierces his stomach, throwing him back several feet. The rifle fires wildly as it falls from his hand. Callahan coughs blood through several broken ribs. Okay. Do those have mouths on them? Anyways, the fallen lantern remains lit, laying on the ground about 20 feet away. Callahan crawls toward it, but the ground shakes as the massive beast circles round. Callahan reaches for the rifle, but the beast charges from the darkness, head low, horn stabbing him through the side. Jerking its head, it throws Callahan again. Callahan hits the ground hard. He wheezes through the Pierce's lungs. He wheezes through Pierce's lungs, unable to breathe. The beast charges forward. Callahan screams. Cut to black. Exterior Mineral City day. Dust rolls.
It's a misspell.
Yeah, I know how that would happen.
Yeah.
Along the sun-bleached main street.
Maybe it's whirls. It's probably whirls.
Is it? I don't know.
I'm going to say it's whirls. It's whirls.
I'm going to go with rolls.
All right. I could be rolls.
Or whirls.
I don't even remember what word.
Because whirls is the word he actually wrote. Maybe it's a word I don't know. You don't know that. It could be a real word.
I looked it up. It's not.
Yeah, obviously it's not. But still, it's always worth checking. Tatum Redhawk, 40s, rugged, long hair streaked with gray, rides his horse into town, several hides draped over the back. Tay ties up his horse, grabs the hides, and heads inside the general store.
Fuck yeah.
Interior general store continuous. As Tay enters, a few townsfolk glance his way, but keep to themselves. The shopkeeper, Martha, smiles politely as he approaches. We need a Martha?
Good morning, Tom.
Tay
Tips his hat.
Ma'am.
Tay drops the hides on the counter.
They look good. How many?
5 full hides, 1 partially tanned.
Need anything while you're here?
Yes.
Martha inspects the hides.
I'll give you $2 cash or 3 on credit.
Sounds good to me.
That's not what he wrote.
I ad-lib.
Look, dude, don't ad-lib when you're reading a screenplay to give feedback. Tay grabs a burlap sack, walks the aisles grabbing some rope, hardtack, and a box of ammo. The other customer walk around Tay to the counter, purchase their items, and hurriedly exit. Tay returns to the counter. Martha inspects the items in the bag, takes out $5 from the register, and hands it to him.
Thank you, Miss Martha.
Martha smiles politely, keeping her eyes on Tay as he exits the store. Exterior, Mineral City day. Tay steps off the porch as Sheriff James Abrams approaches. Tay smiles as the sheriff is the one person in town he'd call friend.
John, you be Abrams.
Tay, you in town long?
Just needed some supplies from Martha's.
Come by my office later. We'll share a drink.
Maybe another time.
Door's always open.
Tay mounts his horse, rides out of town as Abrams heads into the store. Exterior, Mineral City, later. As Sheriff Abrams exits General Store, he notices Milo wandering down the center of the street, fur matted and brown.
Milo.
Abrams whistles to the dog. Milo trots up to him. Abrams kneels down to pet him.
Where's Doug, boy? Where's your master?
As he pets Milo, Abrams realizes it's not mud on its fur. It's dried blood. Dun, dun, dun.
Oh, that's it. We got 5 pages.
Dun, dun, dun.
That's all I had time to. Yeah. And even this 5 pages is pretty rough.
Yes. But, I don't know. I thought.
Actually, I liked it.
Yeah. Not bad.
Nice mood. Great atmosphere.
Yeah.
I can see that you're heading somewhere. So it's going to go somewhere.
Yeah.
You can see it's going somewhere.
I mean, it's going to go to 30 pages before he starts again from page 1.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that all
Which
depends
John
on
has
whether
to do
or not.
about 5 times before he starts any project.
Look, he actually
This is
got
actually not a complaint.
he wrote an ending to Cowboys versus Zombies #1. So, like he's written it once. He's just writing it better.
I've written it twice.
There you go. That's what you got to do to make things better. And this is better, I think. Yeah, Robert likes it. Diane likes it. I mean, look, we got.
I do miss the kids.
Okay.
I miss the little girl.
No, they're not. They don't have to be out yet.
Yeah, they're probably not yet. But
You just gave us an inciting incident in the beginning.
Yeah, you
It's
did.
a cold open. It's a classic cold open
with a big ominous thing that we don't see,
and
it foreshadows Milo the dog coming in. Dun dun dun.
And hopefully he's around. Let's see if he dies.
Yeah.
Can't die. Don't kill him, John. It'd be a mistake.
The dog?
Don't
No.
save the cat.
Anything can go. So,
Callahan's injured, and he's going to overcome his injuries to save everybody. Come on.
All right. Well, I did like that there was a cold open. I do kind of miss the farmhouse vibes, but whatever. And certainly there is a story that's happening, and you have introduced characters, and you have done some work to make them appear like they live in this world.
Yay.
Robert.
Well, I agree with what Danny just said, and all of those things make it a much stronger script than it was before, where things just kind of happened. So for the good parts of it, the cold open is there. It needs work, but everything always does. to make sure that it's directable, if you will. But I think it's there, and it's not overly described, which I think is it's just so important to let some of it go, one, to the imagination of the director, and two, if the director's good, to the imagination of the audience. Like, what the hell is this horned thing coming after him? What's out there in the dark? And they can share the fear that Callahan's experiencing because he's scared. And I think that is good for a character to overcome his fear. You're starting to build the hero's journey right in that first 2 or 3 pages. So yes, those are good things.
All right. How could it be made better, Robert?
Okay, well, it needs to be cleaned up. Obviously, I think there's some parts where it tends to dwell on moments in an exciting scene, particularly when he's in the corral with the other animals. There's a lot of just kind of stuff happening that we don't know what it is. It doesn't lead to anything. The cow circling and stuff. I think you could compact that, condense it into a slam bang cold open. Oh my God, what happened? Then counterpoint that with the rather slow moving. I forget it. The character I spoke, the red haired guy walking into the place. He comes in on the horse, slow walking, ties him up, goes into the store. Everybody's calm. Howdy, how you doing? Buys some stuff. Comes out, and then the dog comes in, and all of a sudden your blood pressure comes back again. Oh my God, the dog's without his master. That's never a good sign. So I think that if you can clean up that pacing in those first 5 pages of counterpoint, cold open, hard ass, and then moving into a better pace. One other constructive things. I don't like the way this dialogue has been written by you in the 3 versions that I've read so far. It's inconsistent, and you need to find a voice for each of these characters that fits. I don't care if you make it modern and you just forget the period things and not worry about anachronisms and things like that, or give them dialogue from that period. Do one or the other. The dialogue, it doesn't ring true. And I kind of need to that the exchange between the sheriff and the guy with the skins that he traded in. It was like da 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 da. Talk about like a pause. Like the sheriff looks him over, because he's always suspicious of this guy, or the guy with the skins gets tense anytime he sees authority. Give it some life. That's what it needs. But otherwise, I stick with what I said. It not only is it vastly improved, you've got the bones of something here that can go someplace. And I'm wondering what you're going to do next with these characters.
Danny.
I'm inclined to disagree with some of these comments, specifically about the giant beast with the horns.
Okay.
Which A, does not meaningfully fit into a desert biome as far as I can tell. B, is unnecessary. Firstly, in a cold open, you don't need a beast of any it can just be like whatever, a shadow in the dark kills him. Secondly, why? What's it could just be like a bull.
Yes.
It could be in anything. It doesn't need to be. There aren't beasts that shake the ground when one of them walks about.
That's true.
So you've now made this terribly supernatural instead of an actual mystery that becomes supernatural, which I do not like. It's a thing that you didn't actually do in the last version that I'm familiar with. And that was one of its best qualities, was that the supernatural seemed very natural for the first at least 25 pages that I thought were fairly coherent. And this sort of isn't. It's trying to be like an episode of Supernatural and not a feature film, and I feel like it's off the rails by page 6 or whatever.
Well, thank God there's only 5 pages.
You know what I mean? Like by page 3, when there's a beast suddenly, and then it's like, okay, cool. So now we're out of the realm of reality, and none of this is going to matter. So that's, I think, too early for such a transition. If you want a movie like this to stick the landing.
Diane, first off, have you caught the Pokemon?
No, not yet. Keep
No.
going.
Okay.
Keep going.
Do we need to delay until you
I'll delay
finish
you.
your battle?
This is classic Diane.
All right.
Delay me.
Okay. Let's see. I mean, I don't know that I have a ton of constructives here, really. I mean, I was
Did
okay
it
with
meet
the
your
fun.
qualifications for the short film that you wanted?
Oh, I don't know. I look forward to seeing the rest.
Because
Yep.
that's where I started on, and then I just went
Sure.
from there, as if what
Okay.
you wanted as a short film
Well,
was
the
cold open.
I mean, the short. I actually am hoping. So I would say no. This would not be the short. I actually want to see the creature because I want to show that the creature looks good and not dumb. So I was thinking like something a bit later in the story.
Okay, that's fine. I was just, it was my original thought, and that's when I wrote that as the cold open, and then I just kept going.
Did you win?
Oh.
No, you lost. You have to go again.
Yeah.
Okay. I guess we're gonna move to the next script then.
No. It's so I agree with Danny saying that you don't need to show the beast that early. You could just have a shadow. And particularly show what is it that Stephen King said to John Carpenter when he was doing The Thing. He said that if you're gonna make a creature, what you don't show will entertain and will do what it needs to do, because what they don't see is scarier than what they do see. However, if you have a monster and you want to show it, make it the biggest thing that you can possibly do, because then they'll always remember it. So, which is the thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you're gonna make it, make sure you have basically make it as big as you can.
Yeah.
So the biggest thing you can, and they'll just eat that shit up. The fans will eat that shit up.
All right, now we have Project Delta. John, tell us about Project Delta.
So much to Danny's chagrin, we got 50 pages in, and I decided that I didn't. It was taking too long to get where I wanted to go.
Yes.
So this is essentially a page 10 rewrite. I kept the first 9 pages of Marcus as a kid, hacking the hospital to get his cancer-ridden sister into a special treatment. And then we fast forward 5 years later, where we start out with him in prison.
Into your CFP Psych Services room day, a bland, sterile room featuring opposing padded chairs, a large tinted mirror on the wall, and above it, a dome camera watching, recording. Super 5 years later, Marcus Robbins, now 17, wears prison khaki, sits slouched in one of the chairs. He shakes his leg, drums his crudely cut nails against his knee, fidgeting. Dr. Brian Lormer, 50s, wearing a polo and slacks, sits across from him with a sleek, paper-thin tablet and a stylus in hand. As he scribbles notes, the tablet converts them to text.
Any recent letters from your sister?
John, why don't you
Eh?
All right.
She's doing well. Your parents, are they doing well?
Marcus shrugs passively, dismissing Lormer. He glances at the clock, watching the seconds pass.
You've put on some weight since our last session.
Gotta get ready. 6 months. It's gonna be a big day.
6 months?
Marcus leans forward, motions with his hands.
My 18th birthday. Cool. It's going to be a party. You should come.
That probably isn't a good idea.
No? Don't like to be seen fraternizing with us felons, huh?
Maintaining a professional image helps us both.
Marcus leans back, shaking his leg, fingers drumming against his knee.
Something seems to be bothering you. Care to talk about it?
Do you like math, Dr. Lorimer? Statistics?
Sometimes. Do you like math and statistics?
I do. They're like puzzles. You learn the rules of the game. Sometimes you win and sometimes you lose. Take, for instance, minors incarcerated in federal prison who transfer into Gen Pop at 18. They've got a 1 in 3 chance to land an extended stay.
That sounds unfortunate.
Marcus leans forward, getting animated.
I gotta lean forward and get animated now. Fine. That's the rules. That's the game. But what if? What if the rules can be changed? The odds stacked in your favor.
By my count, you still have 7 years left to your sentence. I don't think that you'll have to worry about that.
What about Tino Alvarez?
We're here to discuss you.
He only has 9 months left, but ages out of SHU in a week. Tino's a good dude, just got in over his head.
You see yourself in him?
I see a first-gen Puerto Rican whose asshole gangbanger of an older brother dragged him down into the shit, and all he wants to do go home.
That is the line, yeah.
And he will in 9 months, as you pointed out.
Maybe his body, but what about his mind? His soul? What about when some MS-13 shithead puts a ship in his hand and makes him stab a fool?
We're here to discuss you, remember?
Marcus glances to the clock on the wall, watching the seconds tick. He chuckles to himself.
What's so funny?
That's the thing, Doc. We're actually here to talk about you. And what you're going to do is take the special housing justification memo that I drafted, send that up the chain to Tino's case manager. Then you're going to sign form BP14, also attached to that email you just got, and present that to the warden. You will strongly suggest that, quote, to avoid Tino from becoming just another crime bureau statistic, you recommend he stay in the special housing unit for the duration of his sentence, end quote.
Lorimer chuckles at Marcus's audacity.
Wow, you really have thought this through.
Dude, I did all the hard work. You just have to sign and send.
Well, I appreciate your taking on an interest in your cellmate's well-being, but I think you should leave the clinical opinions to me.
Hey.
I think you should probably read that email.
All right.
If I'm understanding your jacket, you're not allowed to have access to the prison Wi-Fi. Just admitting me, you broke protocol.
Good thing this room isn't audio recorded, huh? Actually, you'll be really glad once you should click on the link in the email. Yes, he will be really glad once he should click on the link in the email.
Lorimer swipes laterally on his tablet, bringing up his email. Angle tablet, an email with 2 PDF attachments reads, click me, https stream point live v098x-gz9q, not a virus, I swear. Back to the psych services room. Lorimer looks up at Marcus. Marcus?
Totally not a virus.
Lorimer taps the link. Suddenly, the loud moaning of 2 men engaging in sexual intercourse plays through the tablet speakers.
Oh, shit.
It's got very gay. All right.
What?
It suddenly got very gay.
Told you, you'd be glad there's no audio recording in here.
Oh, shit. Oh, shit.
Lorimer taps the tablet frantically. Finally, it stops. Color drains from Lorimer's face.
I know what you're thinking. Quote, thank God I recorded myself banging an inmate of consenting age, end quote. But I'm pretty sure that violates some ethical clauses. Huh. And your wedding vows. So, oopsie.
Lorimer's mind races.
Show that. Marcus.
Yes, yeah, see? Yeah, see? Bugged your cell phone over 6 months ago. You really shouldn't let your 13-year-old install pirated games on his Xbox, which is connected to the home Wi-Fi, which you connected your phone to smart homes. Am I right?
Lorimer's expression turns to rage. If it wasn't for the dome camera pointed at them, he'd strangle Marcus where he sits.
All right, back to the subject at hand. Tino, you see, he's really good for my mental health. So you're going to file those 2 docs today, and you're going to do whatever you have to make sure Tino stays in the SHU until the end of his sentence. Otherwise, a timed email with stills and video will appear in the warden's and your wife's inbox. Why does the warden and his wife share an inbox? Whatever.
Cheers.
In 48 hours. And I will continue extending that 48 hours as long as you hold up your end. Capiche? Great.
Marcus stands up, heads to the door, and knocks.
You know, Doc, maybe you should buy your wife a strap-on and tell her that you're into butt stuff. Probably help your marriage out.
There we go. Turning his back to the door, he puts his hands behind his back. The guard enters and cuffs Marcus. Lorimer stares daggers at Marcus, speechless. Marcus,
See you next month, then.
the guard escorts Marcus out of the room. Interior Medical Services Building hallway day. The guard escorts Marcus down the sterile corridor, boots echoing off the linoleum. The guard's radio crackles to life.
Officer Bennett. Go ahead.
Officer Bennett, do you have eyes on inmate Robbins?
Affirmative. Escorting from psych services now.
Change your orders. Take him to interview 3. He has a visitor.
Copy that. Must be your special day.
The guard pulls Marcus by the elbow, adjusting course. Interior Visitation Building, interview room 3, later a cold, windowless room. Metal table bolted to the floor. 2 chairs, darkened mirror on the side wall. A small camera blinks red in the corner. The guard escorts Marcus into the room where the assistant special agent in charge, Lionel Richard, sits scrolling through a tablet.
Good afternoon, Mr. Robbins. Officer, hands on the table, please.
The guard shoves Marcus into the seat, handcuffs him to the table, then steps outside, closing the door.
I am the assistant special agent in charge of the FBI Los Angeles Cyber Task Force. I need you to look at this and tell me if you know what it is.
Richards hands Marcus the tablet. Marcus scrolls through lines of code on the tablet.
Looks like a shopping list.
Richard stands, paces.
Eggs, milk. No, wait, I know. It's a list of reasons your wife left you.
Jeez.
Richard smacks Marcus in the back of the head.
What a likable protagonist we have.
You have the line, Danny.
Oh, I could charge you with assault.
Richard speaks firmly, pointing on the screen.
Read the goddamn screen and tell me what you see, or I'll make sure you don't see the sun for a week.
Marcus rolls his eyes at Richard, then down at the tablet. He reads the code. His gaze narrows.
This can't be real.
Oh, it's real, all right. No other reason I'd be down here.
This is my code, but heavily modified.
Richards sits down again.
This isn't me. I would never write something like this.
70 hours ago, this code was leaked on a dark web forum from a black hat group calling themselves Gisborne. The code's incomplete, but what we can tell from it, it's a
digital apocalypse.
A year before your incarceration, you wrote a program called Golden Arrow. The source of Golden Arrow is now the foundation of this abomination, and my team is tasked with making sure Golden Arrow is never loosed.
Say no more. I'm on board.
Good. I'm going to have a special terminal set up in the library. You'll have limited access to FBI resources under supervision.
Whoa-y. Slow down, Sparky. You want my help? You're going to have to do something about.
Marcus motions with the cuffs. Richard scoffs.
Huh. You want out? You seriously think I'm going to allow that?
Come on. I'm no good to you in here, but out there. Look, you wouldn't be here if you didn't need me.
No, I don't see it that way. You're a hacker, and your identity needs the net. If Golden Arrow is loosed, you lose your identity.
This entire prison runs on computers. My felony record is on a computer. Golden Arrow goes live. I'm free and my record is gone.
What about your sister?
You leave her out of this.
Her treatments, all modern medicine, would be lost. It would be a real shame if she's undergoing treatment and her life is in jeopardy.
Marcus reaches for Richards, but the cuffs pin him to the table. He stares daggers at Richards.
That's not what he wrote.
He stars daggers at Richards there.
Right. So, as I was saying,
Marcus closes his eye, taking a breath, calming himself.
No,
no,
I don't believe you.
you saw the code.
Not that, but you have way more to lose than I do. So let Golden Arrow fly.
Marcus stares down Richards with cold, emotionless eyes.
All right. I'll make it happen, but on 2 conditions.
Name them.
1, you're going to be issued an FBI smartphone and laptop, and you are not to use any other internet-connected device besides those expressly authorized.
I would expect nothing less.
2, you're going to wear an ankle monitor.
Oh,
Marcus chuckles.
So I'm going to leave this prison for a larger, nicer prison. Where I get to shower alone or with a hot chick. Where do I sign?
Richard swipes on the tablet and hands it back to Marcus. Angle tablet, a 7-year-old employee and contract already pre-filled out.
That's not a 7-year-old employee.
I mean, this is a John Lamont script.
All right, so that's the end of our. We don't need to read the new header because we're gonna cut right here at the end of 10. And John, we had stuff. We have the guy in prison. He's doing things. He's threatening his counselor, who's a closeted gay man and who wants to keep it that way. There you go. And he's then got a special negotiation going with his sister. Marcus is certainly playing hardball in both scenes, but in the second one, he's up against a pretty wily opponent. What do you think, Diane? Did you catch the Pokemon? All right.
Where is this placed in the story? Because you said that
it's page 10 to 19.
I understand that, but is this a redoing or is this a continuation?
Yes.
It's a redoing.
It's a redoing.
From what's the scene before this?
He's 14 and was called into the principal's office for hacking a school computer.
No, I meant from before this scene.
Yeah.
Yes, he was 14. He was called into the principal's office for
flashback.
hacking a school computer.
No, that was a flashback. It's now we go to modern day. This is present day. He's in jail. Previously, he was a precocious hacker child, and now he's in jail.
So all the stuff he wrote before, in the hospital,
he threw it out.
You threw it out?
He threw it out. He said, "This sucks."
That scene's coming back. That scene's.
Oh, okay. So you're redoing it, but okay, that's what I was concerned about because that was.
I am reimagining the story and giving the main character agency. So I'm imagining him as kind of a social justice warrior hacktivist.
There you go.
Okay,
and that's kind of the way I'm approaching his character.
So I should be reading this as everything has been redone since the beginning.
Yes.
Okay. All right. That's where I got lost. So that's where I got lost. Okay, then. So since you're doing this, it's fine. We have a wonderful backstory. We at least have motivation with that. You do have him being restricted upon. There is at least conflict within that. I am trying to figure out. He has to work with the police now, I suppose, to do whatever. Is it the same mission?
No. I'm not killing off the president.
Oh, wow.
Ooh.
Wow.
It was.
This is being recorded, John.
It was. It's a very, very big idea, and it's just
It got too much.
Yeah, it got. I kind of wrote myself into a bit of a corner, and that's where we went 50 pages where nothing really happened because I had too many moving parts, and
there was a lot of subplots.
Yeah,
there was a lot of subplots. So you're streamlining it now.
Yeah, because basically I was doing like a whole government conspiracy, and in order to do that, you need to have lots of subplots because for a conspiracy story to work, everybody has their own reasons for why they go along with the conspiracy.
I was wondering how you were going to conclude that in 5 issues. So I was just
apparently
like,
the answer is not at all.
yeah. Apparently the issue is not at all. We're doing social justice warrior hacktivist.
Okay. So far, I'm liking what you have done. Now that you charged everything out, we're going to simplify the plot. Okay.
I have no way of knowing he's a social justice warrior.
I haven't
call someone racist. He has to.
Yeah, I haven't quite figured that part
out.
No,
no, he has to say low-key racist.
Yeah.
Wow. Damn. Jesus. Okay, so I'm not sure how to put this up because now the entire plot has changed. Mm-hmm. So I'm eager to find out what's going to happen now that you've practically changed the character and now the entire story. So I'm hoping aspects like my favorite aspects of what you had, particularly the relationship with his sister.
That's staying. I'm actually going to probably increase her role in the story.
Awesome. That makes me very happy. Because
I'll have more room for that relationship and to build that relationship because they're not dealing with, the president being killed. Because it's like, that's a big thing. Like everybody in the FBI is going to be all over that. So,
and that also like humanizes your character more. So, I'm eager to see where you go from this. So, for now, they're set up. We're having what's going on. I can see kind of where you're going. Not sure what the mission is yet, but I'm eager to see what's going to happen. So that's my positives.
All right, Danny.
Well, you've got a completely different protagonist, so I'm saving my judgment on that. Certainly, you successfully display him to be a competent Hollywood hacker. He does magical Hollywood hacking things. You have written to the brief. What?
Are you okay, John?
Yeah, that's fine.
Did you just not expect someone to notice what you were doing there? Because I totally did.
Magical Hollywood hacker?
Competent Hollywood hacker.
Dude, some of the things like Neo is a magical Hollywood hacker. Like Neo is.
Most hackers in Hollywood movies are magical hackers.
Did we just say like
Neo's not even a hacker? Like
he's supposed to be a hacker.
He's supposed to be, but we never see him
That's
actually
code
anything.
Having a chat.
Yeah, he has a chat and he sells a program on a disc to somebody. He could have downloaded that off the internet. Like we never see him hack anything.
You magical Hollywood hacker things where you just type randomly and it opens up like terminal windows and just plays random text.
Yeah. Like I was just watching Battle Royale. Magical hacker. Like I'm in a desert island with this laptop and suddenly I like hack into the government system and like shut everything down. How?
Like at least the MacGyver writers had to think about it. Jesus.
Yeah. Like it's just like how? I don't know.
So, I am going to try to keep this a little bit more realistic and it's good. It'll be magical.
It's not your turn, John.
Sorry.
This is your story. Wow. You don't get to defend it. If your goal was to establish that our character, after X number of years in prison, is still a magical Hollywood hacker, you have absolutely successfully fulfilled the brief.
Robert.
Okay. You've successfully made this character of Marcus you've given him some depth. He's got something around him. And as I recall, the transition from his 14-year-old self, where he was a snotty kid, is now a hardened criminal. And that's where he's playing it. I'm not worried about the magical hack. You gave a reason why he was able to hack in.
No, the magical hacking thing was not a complaint.
That wasn't a complaint. No, I don't want to go through.
But it wasn't magical. He explained, got in through the Xbox and all that kind of stuff. So as far as that goes, that's it. All the other code was written prior to him going into prison. So there's no magical parts happening yet.
It's totally magical, but okay.
I'll concede the point, but it doesn't change what he wrote. So as far as that goes, it's you've given him more character. It to me, there were some other characters that could be strengthened. You did do a good transition with Lormer being his therapeutic self and very calm and letting and encouraging his patient to explain himself, giving him the open door of opportunity to explain his thing like this, and then very coldly, Marcus comes back at him and turns the table. That's an interesting character twist. Needs to be tightened up a lot, but it's you got a lot of stuff to work with there. And the two tough guys get together with each other, neither of them giving really any ground, both winning is an interesting scenario. I think it needs to be edgier between Asak or whatever his name is, Richardson, and Marcus. I like that transition. I don't think it's particularly, well, it's a constructive, but it's not particularly put well together. But it's going the right place. That's it.
How could you make it better, Robert?
Better, you need to have more distinct profiling of Lormer. And I don't think there needs to be as much exchange as you've written. I think you could do that with probably about half that. I always say half, but a lot less dialogue on Lormer's part, and you would set his character up as to what he is. Marcus, I think you made him too nervous in the beginning, where he looked weak and then suddenly becomes strong. It's a bizarre transition. He should be neutral and then show us who he is. As far as the other scene in where he is with Richardson and stuff, he should come in all charged up from that thing with Lormer where he just had a big victory and not take any shit from Richardson, and Richard's not having any of it. Where I felt it fell apart is in their settlement of it. It's like, oh, okay, well, I'll just give you an ankle bracelet. We're good. It was too quick, and there's got to be more battle from it. Marcus has to lose something. Richardson has to lose something, but they both ultimately win with what they're after. And that's going to be some sophisticated writing to get those characters to both win and lose. Lose something, but win. And that makes them interesting right away, because now you've got two strong characters who are, basically tight at the hip for the rest of the story, as I imagine it. So that's it.
Danny.
Constructives.
Yes.
Not enough parallel structure. The conversation with whatever his name is, Chuck Yeager, needs to go exactly the same way as the one does with the therapist.
I don't understand what you mean.
The therapist seems powerful, jumping off of Robert's thing, and does what he's doing. And then, take a look at this laptop. Look at this. Oh, you are so fucked. Now you're going to work for me now, bitch. You're going to make your protagonist an asshole like this. You have to turn the tables on him to make him likable at all.
Real hard.
And that means you have to use the exact same structure in these two scenes, or else it's not funny. Nobody's likable, and this is a miserable film because no one wants to be there. And that means people are going to say they don't want to be there a lot, then your audience is going to think they don't want to be there. The sister thing is whatever, but our FBI guy needs to threaten the sister, needs to threaten the guy's reputation, needs to, you know, threaten everything else. Like, oh, what do you think when this kills like that MS-13's guy's sister? He's not gonna he's gonna shiv the hell out of you. Like, we need to put our protagonist into the pits of despair and make him like feel just as badly as that therapist did. So you don't go hard for that.
I mean, I was going to do that later in the story, but okay, you think I should do it
now?
here?
You do it now. Otherwise, none of that first scene establishing your actual protagonist matters.
Yeah, they'll carry that. An audience will carry what Danny just described and what I tried to describe all the way through. They will expect that kind of dynamic all the way through, and it's going to be a constant battle. And you can pull that out in any scene dynamic that's going on. You could pull that out and have that be something that really gives you some exposition of what's coming down in future scenes, and they need that. So yeah, do it now.
Okay.
Diane.
I agree with the what Danny and Robert said.
Doing stuff. Okay.
Well, the thing is that I do believe that the dialogue should be cut down.
Okay.
But as they said, they were going like, just keep it to the protagonist. I'm like, yeah, you don't really need that. Yeah. So, yeah. So, just keep it to the protagonist and just basically that cuts it to like what? A third?
I guess.
Yeah. That's to a third. And you hit it off right away. Just smack right out. So.
The only thing I don't even want to say. So.
What? Go ahead.
All right. Well, now I have to go. Okay, in the video, is the therapist taking it from the
What?
That's a really good question.
We're not going to see that video.
No, we're not. This is a PG-13 story.
I just like who
not PG-13 with that in there.
That's all I'm trying to figure out.
You only hear it, and then you see his reaction. Well, maybe the therapist, always in a dominant position in his job in the prison, likes being
but now
dominated.
I'm like, man, that therapist had to talk. Okay, but like, and like when you get into sexual dynamics, like the person who's doing the driving is viewed as the more authoritative in charge thing, which kind of, like it I don't know. Anyway.
All right, so he's submissive. Take the constructive, John.
Yeah.
He's submissive.
I guess he's submissive. Yeah. I guess. All right. As long as you were aware. Okay.
Yeah. No, I had thought about that, and I'm just like, for the purpose of this scene, I'm fine with it. And we're never
no therapists were hurt in the making of this film.
and we're not really going to see this. The doctor has one other quick scene in it, and then he's out of the picture and never comes back.
Well,
why? He doesn't come back?
Okay.
He's not needed for the story anymore.
Okay. Well, what I want to know is, does his relationship with his wife improve or not?
Only if he buys him a strap-on.
Okay, but then that implies he was taking it from the cellmate, right? That's
right.
Yes. Yeah.
Implies.
Correct.
Anyway.
Right. Exactly. Yes.
What
that is. I am.
I know.
John, did you think this through? That's what.
Yes, I did. Absolutely. No, I did absolutely think this through.
Okay.
And
all right.
My thought was he normally is in a powerful position and he likes being a sub.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I kind of thought through that.
Okay.
I like how you backed up how much you thought it through over the course of that sentence.
Like, no, I mean,
so
I
he's
understand where you're going.
in a role of authority.
Yes.
And now when
he is a prison psychologist.
He wants to just let it go. Let someone else go in charge.
But he's doing that to a prison inmate. I don't know.
I'm pretty sure that's a crime.
Yeah. Well,
yes.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
That's why the blackmail works.
Crime in prison. There's a crime in prison. I'm shocked that there's criminal things going on here.
All right, zombie ships from hell.
Okay, I read this. We can. What we could do is look at the structuring of it as opposed to rereading the story, because the story is basically the same. But I took extensive notes. I gave a page per page, and restructured the panels, gave more art direction. And so if we can go through that, if somebody wants to read it and see if the descriptions are better directives for the illustrators, that's what I'm trying to achieve, make the story clearer.
Is Somewhere in the Caribbean circa 2040 supposed to be on the page somewhere?
Yes, it would be. It would
Then
be written.
you need to say
Then
that
you
this is a
put
caption.
narrator, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and that would be part of the panel. So where
Mhm.
this is page 1, where this is a comic, right?
Yes.
So
you
where's
need to-
panel 1?
Yeah. Where's panel 1?
Oh, I would put it in the wide panel. That's what it imagined.
Well,
Okay, I got it. Okay, so
Then it's
I need to
panel 1
locate it.
wide panel.
Got it.
Right, because you have wide panel, that's one panel, and your
Then
inset
panel
panel
2
is
inset
panel
into
2.
1 or 2 or whatever.
Right.
All right.
So this Somewhere in the Caribbean then actually goes
I mean, it could be the page
down
header.
here, right?
Page header or
It shouldn't be the page header. Don't do that.
Okay.
No.
I was giving you a very stupid alternate solution, but you don't have enough experience to know that it's stupid. So that was my bad.
And I typically write my caption like it's dialogue. So the speaker will be caption, and then
you should always do that. And for sound effects, your speaker should be SFX, because your letterer is only really looking at the dialogue.
Right.
So all of the lettering needs to go in the same place, or else your letterer might miss it.
Okay, I didn't follow that.
The person
Yes.
putting in the letters
Yeah.
is looking at only the stuff that's formatted as dialogue, really. So if you want it to be on the page in that phase of the process, then it has to be formatted as dialogue. If it's not formatted as dialogue, it's more likely your letterer is going to overlook it.
Okay, and what if I want it in the illustration, like a?
Then ask the illustrator to do it, even though it's still sometimes the letterer's job.
I see. Okay.
So if it's like the newspaper has a headline that reads XYZ, that is art direction, not dialogue.
Got it.
But a caption that goes on top in its own balloon, that's dialogue. Sound effects are dialogue.
Okay, so in the one with the inset down at the bottom of the page, as we see it right now, that's meant to be a sign. So that's really art direction. So that
yeah,
they
you did that fine.
Okay.
yeah.
Or
No,
you could have the speaker be copy.
You could also have your letterer do your signs, which
Your
I have
letterer
Danny.
will probably do your signs.
I have Danny do it because my artists don't speak very good English. So
read
I'd
very
rather
well.
have somebody that speaks fluent
Canadian.
English do my signs.
Canadian, like Danny does. Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, I just add letters to things sometimes.
Well, you said Z as a dead giveaway. That's like an M dash for Canadians.
Yes.
It is, eh?
Okay.
Let's go look at the zebras.
Zebra.
Okay, so go to the next page. I want to see if I'm consistent in how I'm doing it and if I'm doing it right.
Say vitamin again.
Vitamins is English.
That's more of a Britishy thing. I'll
Yeah,
admit
that's
that.
English. When you go to Boots, you
So your
order
inset
vitamins.
would be panel 3.
Yes, panel
And
3.
yeah, so you number the panel, because which order it is does matter. It is saying that his inset doesn't tell you what the reading order is.
Right.
But
So how do I don't. Okay, I'm not
So,
clear on this. Why would I
panel
call it a
3.
panel?
sorry,
Why would I call it a panel?
Because
It's
it
a
is a
panel.
panel. It's a
it just
panel.
is a panel.
Yeah.
Okay.
If it's a box, it's a panel.
Yeah. So someone.
It's a box, therefore it's a panel.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, but you can say as part of the art direction, panel 3 inset into 2.
Okay,
Yeah.
got it.
Though inset, I typically
But that
look
also
at
means
inset
that it's not
as-
inset into 1. It's not inset into the middle. Like you say where it belongs and what the reading order is that way.
Okay,
That way, because of all the dialogue that the illustrator is going to see on the page here. Also, I love your page breaks.
you also have a lot of dialogue in an inset panel.
and they're going to put the inset panel in a place where there's room and negative space in the art where the dialogue can be.
Yeah, the dialogue's meant to be.
So because the dialogue's coming out of panel 3, your inset
Yeah.
panel,
Got
say
it.
it's inset into 2. They're going to do a really big panel 2 with room for an inset and with additional room for the dialogue. That's why
Got
you
it.
write it like that. So they know there's 3 panels. Panel 3 is going to be into this other one. That means I need to make the space for all of those lines.
I mean, is it possible that there's 5 panels? Because we have 1, 2, then we got an inset, then we got 3, then we got an inset.
Well, that's because we have 5 panels.
Yeah, we have 5 panels. Yeah.
I see. Okay.
And that's a lot of dialogue for 5 panels.
That's a doable amount of dialogue for 5 panels with a competent artist.
Yeah.
But you're definitely stretching it a little bit.
What's your budget for your art?
Yeah.
So
that's
it's fine for a spec
Dan-
script. It's fine for a spec script. You can solve that in outlines and thumbs. It's not a big deal.
Well, when you say competent artist, I hear how much are you paying your artist?
Yeah,
I hear
the same
my
thing.
artists are competent and cost the same as yours, John.
What's a page? I mean, do you do it by page or by panel?
Yeah,
You do it
it's by page. If you're doing it by panel, they're ripping you off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What is
Although you could just do nothing but splash pages.
You do by panel if it's like a webtoon. That's how the people charge, and that makes sense. But don't do that for pages; you'll get fucked.
right? Okay. Now on panel 1 description here, this is the most detailed that I got in a description. Well, no, there's some other ones, but I put in references to things so that they'd know what I was talking
That's
about.
fine.
Okay. There you go.
But where does that dialogue belong?
Page 3. Well, it goes with it goes with panel 1. So
Which means it belongs
put it
underneath
down
the art
here.
direction for
underneath
panel 1.
it. Got it. Okay.
Yeah, and then all of your copy, right? It's there in the art direction. If it's not in the art, your letterer is going to do it.
I see. So I have to make a choice. Well, it's going to require.
No, I mean you don't necessarily have to make a choice. Sometimes your illustrator makes a choice for you, and you just stuck with
okay.
it.
All right.
So that's you figure it out as you show them the scripts, and you're like, "Hey, I've got this. Can you do it?" And some illustrators are going to handwrite it, not draw guidelines, and it's going to look like dog shit, and it's going to be baked into your art. So there are downsides to having this happen at the illustration level.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Right? Like some artists are afraid of rulers for some reason. It doesn't make sense to me, but whatever. Diane knows.
Yeah, there are some artists out there who are just like, yes, I can make perfect circles, and they don't.
There we go.
So,
Yeah, like just get a French curve, get a protractor, get on with your life. It's not complicated.
honestly,
I
mean,
I feel like
and they're doing like also like cars,
yeah.
or like, you know, inanimate objects, and
Yeah.
like, dude, use a fucking ruler. It's not that hard.
Use a perspective grid, use a ruler. You're an adult. Sorry,
You're
we're bitching
an
now.
adult.
Yeah.
You know, use foreshortening, please.
Miss you, Diane.
Learn it.
I feel like Robert's been hanging out in my Discord, and it's rubbing off on him because I see like someone got paid in Bitcoin.
Bitcoin.
I love that. Okay, so Robert, here's for create an image for it. Like that's a thing you might actually want to do in pre-production as one of your concept pieces, just to make sure that everyone has access to like a copyable file of it to just like shove it into the art. So it has to be consistent every time. You might not want people drawing it.
Right.
Okay.
And if you got paid in Bitcoin, then that's not fiat, as the crypto people would say.
Yeah.
So yes,
What does that mean?
that means it's money because the government decreed it to be money.
Right.
Oh.
As compared to crypto, which is money because crypto bros say it's money.
Exactly.
Oh, okay. Okay.
It's the grand pyramid scheme is what crypto is.
Okay, thank you. I was just like, well, what does that mean? And I'm
Yeah.
like, then Danny said it. I went, oh, okay, never mind.
I'm just saying, like, you know, if you got paid in a coin, then that means your wallet will just be like, oh, hey, you got a certain amount of coin as opposed to you got a certain amount of Swiss francs. Or
and then it's like 17,000 more steps to turn it into real money.
Yeah,
Yay.
exactly.
Yay.
Exactly.
And now governments want to get involved in that to make sure you're paying taxes on it.
Yeah.
If you
rightly
think the
so.
government's not already involved, they're tracking everything.
Anyway.
Well, what I mean is
Block-
they care.
block-
They care when you transfer cash into coins now because they want to tax you for it.
Basically,
9,999.
Bitcoin's only good for illegal transactions.
Hey, somebody bought a pizza with it once.
They
Yeah, I know that guy. I was on that forum and saw the
Really?
thing.
Oh, cool.
So
They
when I have a lot of dialogue back and forth, we're looking at full width panel, and I use these terms based on looking at other just comic books and saying, okay, that's the size I want. What do they call that? And so I probably got some of the terminology incorrect.
Full width makes sense. I mean, remember, this is a letter to exactly one person. The only person that you care definitely understands this is the person drawing your pencils.
Okay.
Hmm.
So that much dialogue would fit in a full width panel. I can do that.
Yeah,
If
it's
your
a bit
artist
long, but I've seen
knows
it. I
what
mean,
he's doing.
how many panels are on the page?
3, I believe is the max that I put in.
Panel 2 doesn't need to be that big. Panel 3 is a bit confusing because you also have to design and render coherent whatever a vacuum tube transporter is.
Right.
So 3 is doable. It shouldn't be a problem. There's not that much dialogue on the page.
Okay.
And you can also, when you realize it's all got horribly wrong, you can still have some of it be in panel 2 and just sort of continue the dialogue. There's nothing else going on, which isn't ideal, but there's nothing else going on in panel 2, so you've got the space.
Okay. I'm making a note of that as well.
Yeah, this is not a thing I suggest anyone count on. John will tell you how many times I've yelled at him about this. Actually, he won't, because he'll have stopped counting ages ago.
Yeah, largely.
But it's not a good plan A.
It's not a what?
Like dialogue start on one panel and like
I see.
the art direction force it to end up in another panel. The second anything goes wrong with your art, you're like really fucked, and it's not a good idea. Okay. That being said, as a plan B, it's fine. So it's only 5 lines there.
Yeah, that's easy.
That's
doable.
very doable.
Okay. Next page.
I mean, you could even have that dialogue end in panel 3. Like they could still be talking the entire trip.
Yeah. And honestly, to put stuff on the rest of the page, you might actually have to do that. Right. Here's a weird thing about dialogue in comics. Dialogue slows down reading. This is a good thing. So if you don't have actual words on the page, people are going to flip through really quickly.
Yeah.
So actually, to force people to look at the art, you actually sometimes need dialogue.
Fair enough.
And sometimes when you need to draw attention to things like crows off in the distance, your letterer needs to put in little sound effects for the crows.
Yep.
Because otherwise nobody will see them there. And then they have no clue what the dialogue means.
Yeah, why to have a murder of crows if there's not a murder that's going to happen?
Well, that's because the illustrator drew like 4 M's and called it a murder of crows.
Pretty much.
They were so tiny.
Dial M for murder, bitch. There you go.
All right. Okay, so I need to just go through this and make some more notes on basically what you've told me. If you want to look at the rest, that's great. Just fly through it and see any glaring errors. Here's a glaring error.
Okay, this is not a glaring error, but it is a note. If I were an illustrator and my writer put a location at the top of a page before any panel description, I would assume that unless something specifically tells me otherwise, the entire page is in that location.
Okay.
So it is okay to switch locations in the middle of a page, right? Like if there's a helicopter traveling or whatever.
Right.
So you can also have a location tag in a panel. Panel 1,
Yeah,
location A. Panel 2, location B.
If you
So-
remember any of my comic scripts, I typically do that because
It's a good
I'll
way to
use
be like, this is definitely where this is happening. Yeah.
right.
So you should either consistently put your locations inside the panel description. So you do panel 2, carriage return, location, carriage
Got
return, art.
Okay.
Or have it be the whole page of this location. I don't care what you think I'm saying. It's still in this location.
Got it.
That's sort of the implication there. And when you end up with like even light language barriers, again, you can solve this when you're looking at the thumbnails and stuff pretty early in the process, but it's bloody annoying. So figure out what works for you to make it clear.
Got it.
Too many panels. I see. Like your
Here?
insets. I mean that on the previous page too.
That can work. I can see this.
1,
working.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6. I mean,
7.
See, when I see an inset, I'm thinking of a smaller image that's just focused on like one
Yeah,
part,
This
like
is
a
panel
close up.
2, small panel.
Yeah, this is, yeah.
An inset is specifically set inside the borders of something else.
Yeah.
Okay, got it.
So it's like, does it have all of his borders are itself, or is it a like an island on a lake?
The way I envisioned it was a panel, and then have these almost like checkerboarded in a staggered progression.
Yeah. So
from top to
what
bottom.
that page looks like to me, that we were just talking about, is basically a splash page with 5 inset panels,
Yes.
like
Okay.
fucking Thunderbirds or something, which it works.
Okay.
But you're going down, not across. Remember.
Oh no, I understand that.
So like, hey, this is your splash art. This goes like full bleed or whatever. These inset panels go in. They have borders.
Right. So
Full width and full bleed are not the same thing.
got it.
Have you seen a comics page template?
I've looked at a half dozen of them. They don't.
You know how they're like an 11 by 17 page with a box in the middle?
Yeah.
To the line on the box of the middle is full width. That's your safe zone
Okay.
for dialogue and art and stuff. Anything beyond that goes to the edge of the actual physical piece of paper.
Which is the
That's
bleed.
full bleed.
Yeah.
So you can have art to full bleed and then have an inset panel inside it, easy peasy, and you get the extra width. But you shouldn't have anything valuable between full width and full bleed.
Yeah, that's pretty standard graphics rules. So I get that.
Yeah, but some people make comics who've never done graphics before.
Some people do comics who've done a lot of graphics before. So and
I'm
would
making
love
no
me.
assumptions.
Yeah. Okay, so the last page, which you guys haven't read, I combined 2 pages, like it's the 2-page spread, and because I couldn't think of any other way to end it, I wanted it to be a big dramatic ending.
Where is it?
Next one, there it's 13 and 14.
Okay.
Yeah,
all right.
that's
That's fine.
fine.
And then there's lots of dialogue down below.
Sure. I mean,
Okay.
I don't
Not
see
too
any-
much
That's not
dialogue.
lots.
That's not bad.
Okay.
I mean, is this a 2-page? Oh, okay. So this is a 2-page splash, Joe. Or
Yeah.
yeah.
right, okay.
Yeah,
All right.
that's clear. I think it's clear.
It's
Okay.
pretty clear. What you're going to have, just looking at what your direction says, is Mary Lou is going to be basically on one of the pages and Chip beside her and all that. And then the background is going to basically be your other page.
All the action and stuff. Yeah.
Well, like the captain standing silhouetted, that's basically your other page,
Yeah.
right? So it's going to be Mary Lou, like on the left, like on the verso, Chip beside her. Then you're going to have your gutter. And then you're going to have all the other stuff is going to be on the right on your recto.
Yep.
So if that's what you're going for, that's what the art direction looks like. Because otherwise, you're spoiling the captain by having him be on the left-hand side.
Got it. Okay. Now, if we go down just to the next page, I didn't know how to deal with giving direction for like the inside front cover, inside back cover, what they would be. If there's a frontispiece, a title page, I don't know how much formality there is in putting something like this
I mean,
together.
someone needs to do it at some point, so it's good to have notes. So don't feel bad about it.
All right. And do you guys put synopses in there, like a story arc, or
Usually?
Okay. Per edition of the
per
comic, or
issue.
okay.
I don't, but whatever.
I don't either.
Like I do sometimes. It's sometimes good to catch people up anyways, because if you're like at an event trying to sell it, someone's gonna pick up the book and look inside. So if you have a synopsis, that usually helps. That often doesn't go on the back. One of the weird things about comics is because they're floppy. Sometimes people keep them in sleeves. So having stuff on the back like isn't always the most helpful. Often it's just an ad on the back, because most of the time no one's going to see that side of the book.
They're not in a poly sleeve. The ones I saw in the stores were all in poly sleeves.
Sure, the ones I sell at conventions are just like on a book stand and people can buy it. They can buy their own fucking sleeve. I'm not doing their work for them. That costs me money.
I got it.
Doesn't cost
added
that
value,
much
Danny.
money.
Added value. The but the labor to put it in.
If I'm selling a book for a variant cover for $25, I will put it in a freaking sleeve.
Oh yeah, no, for that kind of money, I put it in a sleeve. For like $5.10, like regular price, nope. Like you can pick a nice one. I'll probably have a sleeve if you ask for it, but I don't necessarily have a board. Like I have to lug all this shit around to everything constantly. And I wanted
the synopsis thing. I have another. The reason why I thought it was important for me is I'm always thinking about marketing and selling. Is that if somebody did pick up a later edition, because I'm doing like a Bible for this, so I see like 5 editions to this story moving forward, because everything's going to happen on the ship. They can never land anywhere, and it's this contained environment, but there's pirates and different people coming in. But for the story arc, I saw like if somebody did pick up, issue 2 or issue 3, the story arc would say, "Oh, that sounds really cool. That happened in issue 1. I'd like to buy that, so I know it's completely going on." To me, it's like a sales tool.
It's super useful. This is one of the reasons why you might want to do it. You're going to be selling, but if someone looks at that, they're probably going to say, "Okay, do you have issue 1?" They're just going to buy that instead.
Yeah. I've never. Yeah, more than likely, if they pick up issue 2. They're going to be like, "Yeah, do you have issue 1?" And a lot of times people won't even buy issue 2. They'll buy issue 1 for $5. And then if you're lucky, they'll come back later and buy the second issue.
You're really lucky. They'll buy both at the same time.
Yes. That doesn't always happen.
No,
that's sales.
It's a lot easier to sell issue 1 than it is to sell the whole thing. That's why
it's 1,000 times easier to sell issue 1 than issue 2.
Yes.
So you should
that's
still
why I love that's why I love selling trades, because then they don't have a choice.
I know,
buy the whole damn thing.
So what's going to happen is you're going to be marketing it. I think it's a good idea to have a synopsis for like a bunch of reasons. One of which is if it's been a while since someone's read it, they don't have to actually reread issue 1 to catch up. So you're actually saving them time, never mind the marketing. Right? It actually does do a favor to your user. With that being said, like, the benefit is to catch people up so they don't have to reread, or they see where it's going to go and they're like, "Ooh, this is exciting. I am going to buy more than one issue." So you're so much less likely to sell subsequent issues that like worrying about it too much is definitely overthinking it a little bit.
How many issues do you produce? All 5 issues? I'm doing. Let's use 5 as a placeholder. Do all 5 issues and then have them out there, or do you wait to see if issue 1 sells and then decide, we better do the rest of them?
Well, that's the smart way to do it.
That is.
I don't do that.
I usually have an idea of where the story is going to go.
I mean, look, Lords of Iron 1 came out in 2022. So,
and hey, I'll say this: like Cygnus Imperium has done substantially better in trade paperback than as single issues.
Yes.
Like Preston just asked me the other day for more.
Yeah.
Tell me, explain trade paperback. I don't know what you mean by that.
Like a book with
graphic novel
and not staples.
Yeah, you would call it a graphic.
Oh, perfect bind. So you do a perfect bind and you have all the issues within one single collection.
So that's your actual final version.
Yes.
That absolutely needs a blurb on the back.
Right.
and a synopsis, because the back of that is valuable.
Well,
real
it's
estate.
the whole thing. I mean, yeah, of course.
That's
Yeah.
what I'm saying.
And
Whereas a floppy, like a stapled comic,
and
So it's like this.
Yeah.
Which I picked up at a show a few
Okay.
weeks ago.
Yeah. There you go. I got one of those. I did you and Frank talked about, man.
Let me see the inside front
Oh, yeah.
cover.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, we're doing research here. Okay, now to inside back cover
that's his
actually,
back cover.
John,
and
if you
inside
got a
back.
copy of Cygnus Imperium, you
Okay.
can show them what I do. I do designed interior covers because I'm
Yeah.
also a design nerd.
Yeah, well, I'm thinking that's an area where you could like sell, because you guys talked about like doing posters or things people could put on the wall or whatever. And I thought that you would take
that.
Yeah.
and do some things like that, like advertise them there, because if they liked a
Oh, yeah,
particular
totally.
character, like Mary Lou, okay, she's going to be very sexy and everything.
All right, so Robert, here's what I do.
Nice.
Oh, you did some holographic foil on it.
Yeah,
Okay.
well, so the left side cover actually does have the same texture as the title page, the left side interior cover. So I actually do have a consistent design throughout that, and then I've got a spacer there at the back.
And it's double white. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't want to leave blank pages.
Well, it's not a blank page. It's a page with some yellow dots.
All right.
Yeah, but it's also why are you paying for?
Well, because I need to have multiple of 4 pages, and I couldn't think of what else to put in.
There you go.
Graphic novels
Yeah.
don't have to be in multiples of 4.
Okay, your thank yous. That's for people who help put it together.
That was
Listing of the
Kickstarter
artists?
reward thing, yeah.
I
Okay,
think
so-
it does need to be in multiples of 4.
No,
Yes.
they don't. Just even numbers.
Okay. Oh.
On Perfect Bind, you can do that. Yeah,
Yeah, that's what this is.
I got it. Okay.
And because
So-
Danny's so cheap, I got my own plastic sleeve for all my trades.
There you go.
See, that's how I saw them in all the stores.
Okay, well, considering that you didn't spend $100 for shipping,
Yeah.
I mean, you wouldn't have anyways, but
Yeah.
nevertheless, the shipping was very economical, which made the whole thing a really good deal for everyone.
Shipping from
Yay, go
Canada.
team.
And butt.
All right, great. Thanks, guys. That was good.
Oh, and by the way, if you want to bag these, you buy silver. These are silver bags.
There you go.
is that
silver
brand or
No,
Brand
it's
or
like,
No,
Um,
it's the size. It's
Silver
it's
Age. It's
Silver Age comic
Silver Age
size.
comic size.
But they're
otherwise the bags aren't wide enough to hold all the pages.
yeah.
Regular like modern comics things are like not as wide.
what's the unit cost on something like that? Or do you
The-
want to
the
say?
bags?
The bag.
No, on the finished book.
Oh, that depends.
depends on how many you're shipping or
Yeah.
how many you're printing.
Are you asking for the art cost or the print cost?
The finished cost. In other words, what the total cost of doing the book,
Oh,
an
art-
issue.
art-
I know
art-
it goes down with volume, but like for,
Oh, so
for
just the print costs.
Yeah, I actually say I gave you my invoice for Palace. You have
yeah, I saw. Okay, so that's typical then.
Yeah, art costs as much as you let it. You're probably looking at like $7 to $9 US for 120 page trade paperback.
More like 11 to 12 if you're going
1,000. What
no,
are you
lower.
dollars
Oh, per
to
book.
print.
I see.
per
I see.
book.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Well,
then
Unless you're printing over 500 books,
right.
then
You're going to be
Comics
paying. Yeah.
Comics
90.
Wellspring is the cheapest if you're doing less than 500, and I pay anywhere from $12 to $13 to print per book, depending on the book.
There you go.
man, Preston,
And you-
I
and you
gave
don't
such a
do
good
print on
deal
demand.
Cygnus.
No, I typically order 100 to 200 at a time. I have about 150 of Angel of Darkness and Spirit of the Dragon sitting in my storage locker, and that's about what I keep. Otherwise,
Yeah,
I
I'm in
need
that ballpark too because I don't have a garage.
and
or
it's
garage,
like
or
I
whatever you
don't
call it in America.
and yeah. Otherwise, I have to buy a bigger rent a larger storage locker, and then it's diminishing returns.
Yep.
You know,
And then I gotta move, and then sometimes I gotta move that shit because storage is expensive AF, and they keep driving your price up. And then you have to move to another storage location so that you can get a reasonable, down to earth storage rate. So yeah, I try not to have too much stuff on.
Someone broke into my storage unit last week.
What?
They did. They snipped the lock off. But then they went inside and said, This is full of books.
It's one of those. It's one of those auction TV shows, and it didn't sell.
Yeah.
Storage Wars.
He
Yeah.
didn't believe in literacy.
Mhm.
And part of the problem too is because it's all indie comics, so
Yeah.
it's not even like your DCs or your
Yeah, you know what? He
you
might
know-
have been, the thief might have been like, "Oh, comics! Wait, there's no Spider-Man."
yeah.
If they leave notes behind, like your stuff
Yeah.
wasn't even worth selling, I'm not going to steal this.
We got serial twins. Don't you want serial twins?
Yeah.
Oh yes, we need serial twins.
We need serial twins.
Yes.
I
I need
missed
more serial
serial
twins in my
twins.
life.
It's been a while since we read anything by Molby.
There we
Is it
go.
Moby?
This is
I
comic.
know, but it's still insane.
Panel
Alright.
1 splash page.
Oh, it looks like he's using my template.
He is.
This looks like
Moldy.
mine.
You mean
Molby.
he got like writer solo, writer duet?
Writer duet. Yeah.
That's the writer duet
Well,
template.
That is the writer duet template. Yeah.
Oh, it is?
Or-
Okay,
yeah,
so
Final Draft does not do this.
Yeah.
no. I don't use either of those. I made a template based on what Preston's template. So
Which is the writer duet template.
Which is writer duet. Yeah.
yeah. So yeah, it's probably writer duet. Are we going to start at page 1? Did he give us any instructions on what pages to do? Because sometimes he does that.
Oh, that's a good point. Let me look. 11 to 20. Okay. Yeah.
All right.
Good catch.
So nothing's been changed since the last round of feedback.
Page 11, panels 8. Panel 1, caption, library, criminology section, wide shot of Jenny scanning books.
Oh yeah.
Panel 2, close up. Through the gaps in the shelves, Catherine watches Jenny, her gaze sharp, calculating. Panel 3, medium shot, Jenny selects a book titled Vigilantes.
Hell yeah.
Panel 4, medium shot, Catherine, pretending to yawn, sits 3 tables away from Jenny, watches Jenny reading a book. Panel 5, medium shot, Jenny closes her book. Panel 6, medium shot, Jenny carries the book to the front counter.
Dun, dun, dun.
Panel 7, wide shot, Jenny exits the library. How could she? With Catherine silently following her. Panel 8, caption, campus dorms. Moments later, medium shot of Jenny walking into the dorms. She's such a suspicious person, this Jenny. Page 12, panel 7, panel 1, medium shot. Catherine seated on a bench, typing on her phone. Can't see text. Maybe she should get some glasses. Panel 2, medium shot. Megan, as her phone vibrates on cafeteria table. Buzz. Screen lights up. Panel 3, close up. Text from Catherine. So, is he the killer? Panel 4, Catherine, close on Catherine's phone. Megan, I'm still alive.
Oh no.
Panel 5. Wide shot, cafeteria. Megan smirks, shoving her phone into her pocket as Howard looks unaware of procedures.
I
I
don't
don't
think the
Go
gavel
ahead.
is trying to take their jobs, but someone is putting their life on the line for a cause. That's inspiring.
Panel 6, close up. Megan narrows her eyes, a slight frown.
Be Megan.
How so?
Panel 7, medium shot. Howard, his hands move as he talks.
It shows whoever. I'm sorry. Is that Danny or me?
Danny gave the last line for Howard.
Okay, you do it, Danny.
Thank you. Sorry. It shows whoever the gavel is. There's proof people are good at heart, mask or not, vigilante or not, even if they go to the extreme to express it.
Page 13, panels 8. Panel 1, caption, later. Wide shot, Catherine still on her phone. Panel 2, a woman screams. Close up, Catherine head snaps up. That must hurt. Panel 3, wise shot. Catherine running toward the sound, setting Jenny's lifeless body on the pavement. Panel 4, medium shot. Blood oozing from Jenny's head. Guilty stenciled across her forehead.
Oh wow.
For she never should have taken that book from the library.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Panel
really.
5, medium shot of Catherine with an expression of recognition, looking up, A man in a ball cap peers down from the balcony.
I know him.
Panel 7, dynamic shot.
Megan.
Man fleeing. Catherine takes off.
identical twins.
Catherine takes off toward the dorm entrance, sprinting. Panel 7, medium shot. Catherine arrives at the dorm lobby and stares at the elevator display. Both floors remain frozen on G. The elevator isn't moving. Footsteps pound up the stairs.
What?
Panel 8, low angle shot. Catherine pushes open inlay CU. The stairwell door. She sticks her head over the railing. Says, "Here's Catherine." Looks upward, following the sound. Panel 14, panels 9. Panel 1, low angle, wide shot. Catherine stands at the bottom of the stairwell looking up.
How are we going to know there's a sound with no lettering?
The man leans over the railing, the brim of his ball cap, casting a shadow over his facial features. Panel 2, medium shot. Catherine squints, trying to make out his face. Panel 3, medium shot. The man bounds up the stairs. Panel 4, dynamic shot. Slight Dutch angle. Catherine charges up the stairs, clearing 3 steps at a time, using the railings to launch herself forward as she rounds the corner. Just okay. Page 5, low angle, medium shot.
Panel 5.
Panel 5, low angle, medium shot. Medium, upward. The man reaches the 5th floor landing. Yes, it did say medium twice. Panel 7 puts panel 6, medium shot of the man, the door already held open by 1 foot as he punctures a spray paint can. Panel 7 puts a lighter to the spewing paint, creating a flaming geyser. What? Why did he need to puncture? Why doesn't he just spray it? Like, that's what you do with spray paint.
Look,
Panel 8, high angle dynamic shot, wide, downward. The flaming canister tumbles toward Catherine. Inlay, extreme close-up on Catherine's eyes. Why?
Because this way he can toss it like a grenade.
Right.
That makes sense. Panel 9, full body dynamic shot. See, he's smarter than I am. Catherine leaps over it, rolling midair. Boom! The canister explodes behind her, sending a metal ball embedding itself into the wall inches from her head. Panel 15, page 15, panels 7.
Puts a
Panel
lot
1,
of on a page.
interior wide shot of 5th floor hallway. Female students peek out of their rooms, shrieking from the explosion. Panel 2, medium shot. Catherine, dynamic movement. Catherine scrambles to her feet, yanks open the stairwell entrance door, and bursts into the 5th floor hallway. That's a lot of actions for a panel. Panel 3, wide shot, hallway, chaotic scene. Girls peek out of their doors. Frightened, Catherine, tense and alert, shouts.
Which way did he go?
A scared dorm girl, wide-eyed, stammers.
I don't know.
Panel 4, close up on elevator display. The 5th floor elevator dings. Panel 5, low angle, medium shot. Cops flood out of the elevator. They got there fast. Shouting orders, stomping down the hallway toward Catherine's direction.
Well, that's because Catherine's a school shooter.
Even then, half the time, they just stand outside waiting.
True.
And that's
Panel
what I would
6.
do. Addressing that seems really dangerous.
Yeah, who wants to go in after a school shooter? Like, nobody does that.
Literally nobody.
Yeah. Panel 6, close up. Catherine tenses, eyes darting. In a split-second decision, she ducks back into the stairwell. Panel 7, exterior wide shot of campus grounds. Outside the dorm building, an ambulance and 2 squad cars are parked. Students stand behind yellow tape, snapping photos and videos with their phone. All right, why aren't they taking selfies? Page 16, panels 5. Panel 1, wide shot. Catherine with lowered head, blending into the crowd, walking away quickly but controlled, avoiding suspicion. Panel 2, medium shot. A police officer locks eyes on Catherine, stepping forward, his expression stern. Panel 3, medium shot. A police officer gently holds Catherine's arm while guiding her back toward the yellow tape.
You must get behind the yellow tape.
Panel 4, wide shot, low angle. Catherine stepping under the tape as the officer lifts it. The police watch her.
Thank you, officer.
Panel 5, close up on Catherine's face as she exhales, her heart still pounding from the chase. How do you want the artist to draw her heart?
I mean, or we're going to draw her exhaling
Yeah.
and then not draw her heart.
Yeah. There you go.
Or
Page 17, panel
you could
6.
draw an inlet panel, whatever the fuck that is.
And show her heart, like X-ray panel of her heart.
Beep, 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 beep,
We
beep,
can
beep.
find a way to do it.
Panel 1,
Maybe
medium
a really
shot.
smart artist will superimpose a heartbeat waveform.
There you go.
Oh, yeah, there you go. Medium
Love
shot,
dub, love
campus
dub.
grounds, casual atmosphere. Megan and Howard sit at the outdoor cafeteria table, each holding breadsticks. The sunlight filters
Breadsticks?
through the trees.
Fucking breadsticks.
Well, Megan is the slutty character. Maybe she's going to town on the breadstick. Wait, this
Oh,
isn't.
dude.
a
And what, he's
Donald
just
Trump
sitting there stroking his breadstick?
Trying to be sexy with breadsticks. It's like Austin Powers trying to be sexy with fruit.
Yeah, but
character.
guys, this is set in Texas. Do
Yeah,
people
dude.
casually eat breadsticks in Texas, Preston?
Sure.
Outdoors
Yeah.
on a date?
Sure.
They got
Olive
bread and
Garden.
everything in Texas.
Olive
Yeah,
Garden.
Olive Garden is everywhere. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, those aren't breadsticks. Those are like little baguettes.
Megan has a line.
Oh, sounds like you've really thought about this.
Panel 2, close up on Howard. Relaxed to smirks. Leaned forward, breadstick in hand.
Well, I thought about.
Hold on, that's my line.
Oh,
Well, I thought about Jameson's death, and I'm sure it can't be the gavel. Tell me about yourself. Enough of this guy.
Megan 3. Panel 3, close up on Megan, amused, playful expression, tilted head, raised eyebrow.
Who said the gavel was a he?
good job with
Ooh.
the secret identity.
Yeah, I know, right?
right?
Panel 4, medium shot. Both characters, playful interaction. Howard chuckles, gesturing toward Megan.
With the breadstick? Anyways, true. The way you handled those bullies, it might just be you.
Panel 5, close up on Megan. Nervous laugh, offensive body language, brushing a loose strand of hair behind her ear.
Yeah, me, a hero.
Was
Panel
it Megan or Catherine who heroically barged into someone's apartment and assaulted them while they were taking a shower?
Yeah.
I think that was Catherine,
Okay.
Yeah.
but I think Megan was the one that almost
Well, is she the one
suffocated.
who nearly murdered somebody in the gym?
Yes. I think she was the one that nearly murdered somebody in the
Who
gym.
heroically nearly murdered somebody who was totally innocent in a gym?
Panel 6, wide shot, campus grounds. Megan and Howard continue their conversation in lively campus settings as students walk past in the background. Page 18, panel 7. Panel 1, wide shot, campus grounds, dorms, chaotic scene. A crowd gathers behind yellow tape. Catherine scans the sea of heads, her eyes darting around. Well, now she took people's heads off and put them in the sea? Panel 2, close up on Catherine, her gaze
Smash
locked.
cut to Catherine in a sea of heads. Like, I want to watch that movie.
Her gaze locked onto a ball cap in the chaos. The man recognizes her, then turns away. Panel 3, action shot. The man walks, shifts into a light jog. Catherine bursts forward, sprinting after him. Panel 4, over the shoulder shot. Catherine chasing him, heading for building entrance. Panel 5, interior wide shot. Wide shot, campus's Olympic swimming pool. Inside the swimming pool's blue water reflects waves onto the ceiling. The empty pool area is eerily silent. Catherine enters cautiously, her eyes scanning.
How are you going to draw it being eerily silent?
A sea of ears.
Mmm.
Panel 6, medium shot. Catherine reaches into her backpack, sliding brass knuckles into her fingers, staying alert. Panel 7, over the shoulder shot. She spots something in the deep water. Deep end of the pool, a ball cap floating on the surface.
Oh no.
Didn't it say the pool was empty? Panel
I heard breast knuckles and I was really confused for a minute.
page 19, panel 6. Panel 1. You know, I'm gonna have to do that in my next
You're
panel. One,
welcome.
close up of
Inspiration
Catherine's
abounds. Yeah.
reaction, confused, uneasy. Catherine furrows her brow, moving cautiously toward the pool's edge. Panel 2, action shot, splash! Hands grab her ankles from water, yanking her in. Panel 3, medium shot, underwater. Catherine struggles, thrashes, tries to break free. Her backpack weighs her down. Bubbles rise. Why doesn't she just take the backpack off? Panel 4, side view of Catherine removing her backpack, kicking hard, rising toward the surface. Panel 5, surface shot. Catherine gasps for air, looking around frantically. No sign of her attacker. Okay. Panel 6, close up. Catherine, frustrated, punching the water. Catherine grits her teeth, punching the water in anger.
Shit.
Okay, fine.
Page 20, panel 6. Panel 1, wide shot. Outside Howard's dorm, casual atmosphere. Howard is about to enter his dorm. Megan stands beside him. Panel 2, close up. Howard gives Megan an unexpected hug. Megan, surprised, doesn't hug back. Panel 3, close up. Howard opening the entrance door. Megan holding Howard back, trying to kiss him. Megan grabs Howard's wrist, stopping him.
Wait.
She leans in for a kiss. Panel 4, extreme close up, both leaning in
You
about
want
the
a
kiss. Ring! Megan's phone buzzes loudly. Wait, does it ring or does it buzz?
Yes.
Panel 5, medium shot. Where? Medium shot. Howard stepping back, looking embarrassed, flustered. Megan frustrated.
I'll see you around.
He walks off as Megan stomps her foot in frustration.
Yeah, can we just pause for a second? Robert, what's wrong with this art description?
Flustered, Megan frustrated.
Just all of panel 5. Just the art direction. It's a lesson
Wow.
from last week.
Yes.
Tell me.
Well,
I
he
could-
can't be both stepping back
Oh, I see it.
and
Looking.
walking off.
Yeah.
Because
Panel-
one verb per character per panel.
But
Panel 6, close up. Megan snatches her phone up, furious.
What? Jenny, the girl I was tailing is dead. Go back to the apartment now.
dun dun dun.
And that's page 20,
That is
which
amazing.
is what we were supposed to read. Okay. Well, we have serial twins in comic book format.
Wasn't
You
it
know what?
always in
Was it
comic
not
book
before?
format?
It was not. It was used to be screenplay format.
Panels.
Right.
Yeah, it was a script before.
Well, serial twins are at it. They're solving crime.
They are.
Something bad is going on. There's a guy with a ball cap who's doing something. I
There's
think.
definitely a guy in a ball cap.
Yes. there
Were
was
they
a guy
solving
with a ball-
crimes, though? Because
I
He
mean,
was just
the
following
script
somebody
acts
from
like
the
they're solving
library.
crimes. They're not, but
I mean,
I mean, it was stalking a girl at a library and having breadsticks. I don't really see
they
solving
were
crimes.
talking girl in the library.
Now,
and then
is this a
hot breadstick
continuation from
action.
the script, or is this brand new?
We don't know.
I don't know.
I think this is issue 2.
I think they're related. Look, the script, the comic is clearly an adaptation of the
script.
screenplay.
Okay.
I mean, I don't know how faithful. I'm sure he's making some changes,
Okay.
as is well. You know, great. Congratulations. We got. You know, like I feel like the story's a little. You know, these 10 pages, I feel like we had a conflict. We had a guy in a baseball cap who clearly is
Going to do
Up to no good.
Going to do some
out
trouble.
for no good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Going to do some trouble.
and we got the twins who were,
Organizing.
like
themselves.
investigating,
Yeah.
and we have like rising tension. Oh my goodness, someone died,
Yeah.
and we got the romantic subplot, and I think that's what we got in 10 pages, and I mean, you know, not bad.
Did we know who Jenny was? The one who's dead?
Did we
She
know?
wasn't the one in the
Jenny
library
stole the
that
book.
Catherine was stalking.
Oh, okay.
Oh, no, she didn't steal the book. She checked it out. She
Checked
went up
it
to the
out.
counter.
Yeah, you're right.
And for that,
I mean, the script didn't say she checked it out. It just said they went up to the counter.
yeah,
And then she was just dead.
and then
Now she's dead, and the poor students will never see that book again because it was stolen.
yes. So I feel like this is shaping up to be the gavel versus the librarian. What do you think, Diane?
Okay, let's
Okay.
figure out what the gavel is.
It's the librarian.
The
Yeah, I know,
gavel,
it's
the
supposed to be
gavel are the serial twins.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's the no. Is it not a separate character now?
No, the gavel, like when they go out to fight
Fine,
crime,
yeah, they
have one of them has a little gavel and one of them has a teddy bear.
Yeah.
And that's what they do, John. They go out.
I'm not.
Ninjas, one
I
has a
didn't
gavel,
say
one has a teddy bear.
that is.
That's
He's
not my
got some
character.
pencil sketches in there too. So,
Yeah.
on Discord.
And
That's why I'm confused. Is it not a separate character now?
no, the gavel is.
They both are the gavel.
Yeah, they are both
They're
the
the
gavel.
gavels.
Yeah, the
So
gavel is their crime fighting team.
Yeah, the gavel's who they are when they do crimes.
Right. Yes.
But okay, it's.
I mean, solve crimes. They don't really solve any crimes. I think they just do crimes.
They just kind of like are there.
It's their vigilante.
I mean, they definitely do crimes.
Yes, it's their vigilante persona.
They identify wrongdoing and try to rectify it through extreme violence.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes,
you
by
think,
doing
Matt?
crimes.
Yeah.
Extreme violence, pretty much crime.
Yeah, that was definitely a crime.
Well, Megan finally has like a little bit of dialogue because usually she doesn't talk.
Well, now she got some breadstick in her mouth.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that doesn't help. That's it. And I'm going to assume this is a brand new story, not a continuation of what was before.
Why would you assume
they reference
that,
the guy in the
I'm going to assume that. I don't know if that's why I guess I'm asking
you in the title of the
or is
document.
it something brand new?
Yeah, it's issue 2.
Issue 2. Did I?
So
issue 2.
Is
Did
a
I miss
continuation of the
issue one?
previous story.
We may
Didn't they? Issue one, they ended on a snowy street walking out of the school or something.
Right. Remember with the nuns.
Yeah.
That was how issue 1 ended. It ended with a flashback. They killed the nun. Then they all stopped to have dinner, and then they left.
And now we have flashed forward to issue 2, and they're on dates and doing crimes
Okay, I must
eating
miss that
breadsticks.
day then.
and complaining about bullies,
I
who
must have-
are in fact the worst.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, since I missed issue 1, why don't you guys go? Because I don't know where issue.
Oh, that's fine. Knowing what happens in issue 1 actually doesn't help you at all in this.
Oh, it
Yeah,
doesn't?
really? Yeah.
It doesn't?
There was blood.
No, I mean, we just described it, and you were just laughing.
Who was laughing? Yes.
No, they did. They
That is,
issue 1
we-
ended with them
we
killing a nun,
coherently
and then
described
everybody
issue
at the
1.
orphanage stopped to have dinner.
Yeah.
That's
After all
literally
that?
what they killed a nun, and then they had dinner for everybody at the orphanage.
Wait,
and
they
then they
killed
all
in
went
front
for
of the kids?
Then they went on a walk out on this snowy.
Oh,
right
area.
And then we
after they had
some
dinner.
outskirts,
Well, of course, you
while
walk
they were
off your
hiding
dinner.
trolls.
You know, you eat
Yeah.
after a murder, you walk off your dinner.
Yeah,
come
Yes.
Club B.
what?
See, you didn't miss anything. Now you're just as vexed as everyone else. Congratulations, you're caught up.
I'm just like, wait, in front of like all the kids?
Yes.
No, it was before they got to the kids.
All right, John, what do you have?
Yeah.
Oh, this is I love it. I love Serial Twins. No, this is great. And yeah, I like having, your chase scene was very dynamic and had lots of dynamic action shots. Very parkour. That was a term I was thinking of. Yes. Catherine is like parkour extraordinaire. So that was cool. And yeah, and like, who doesn't love some breadsticks on a date?
Exactly. Danny.
Yeah, I mean, I could tell this is really dynamic from all the dynamic shots. I see you've put a lot of energy into thinking about how to storyboard your film. And there was absolutely a date scene that occurred.
Okay.
Robert.
Yeah, it's I like that there was a lot of action. Um, I think you could maybe use a little more expository dialogue to orient a bit. Um, I don't know how some of there's just a shitload of panels. So storyboarding. Every storyboard's a camera move. I got confused in some of the panels, and they either felt repetitive or they jumped. But I know that's constructive. But I liked that there was action, is what I'm trying to say, and minimal dialogue works for me often. But again, mixing the constructive with it, I would add a little more exposition in some additional dialogue and a few less repetitive panels. So that's my whole thing. I liked it. I did. It's actually conventional. It's not extreme, except that they're killing people is extreme. But it's the only thing that was
It's not
extreme in it
extreme
to me.
aside from all of the details about
The
any
only thing that was
story.
extreme to me was where they wrote something on her forehead on the girl who got killed.
Well, that's what the gavel does. So, and
Yeah.
this person that's framing the gavel writes guilty on their foreheads. That's kind of
and
the.
they will murder as many people as they need to clear their names of their horrible reputation for murder.
And that is that work but that's the only thing that's to me extraordinary. So I guess it would be then consistent, and I liked it. It didn't overdo the weird stuff. The action was good, as John said. So I liked it.
Didn't overdo the weird stuff.
It wasn't
Not
that weird.
This time, this is
It wasn't that weird.
Tame.
Tell me what's weird.
Can you say the last part out loud, like for a Rutgers script?
Yes. This was relatively tame for a Rutgers script.
This was indeed relatively tame for a Rutgers script.
And that's exactly what my intention was to communicate.
There you go.
Compared to what did they do? They ground up the meat. Did you look at the pencil drawings? They're grinding up the meat. They're cooking stuff up. I believe they killed somebody in a shower before.
Oh, those 2 pages were the best part of the book by far. I think that's the only good part of the book so far. But that's a different thing.
So you have mayhem and you have action.
I mean, we have very different definitions of mayhem. I think at best we have shenanigans. Okay, well, since everyone's mixing stuff in, I will say that as far as a storyboarding and shot listing exercise goes, which is what I'm treating this as, because it's clearly undrawable.
Yeah.
And no one would actually happily try to read this either. I think it really shows that you probably haven't made a film before. Like your angles are not described as a series of shots and setups. They're mixed action. It's really hard to tell what perspective it is. So when you've got like a wide shot of Catherine in a crowd, Catherine's facing in one direction and the crowd is facing in whatever direction the crowd is facing in. They could be the same direction, but how in the same panel can she lock eyes with somebody? That's a different shot. Likewise, when she flies away from the explosion, presumably you see her face reacting to the explosion and not her butt. And assuming that you do, how do you see the ball of explosion stuff, the can, lodge itself into a wall beside her face in the same panel? It is not possible. You need to know what photographs are and how pictures work in order to actually direct this in a way that's meaningful. And if you're just doing this as a shot listing exercise, those are still separate setups. So I do recommend, instead of just putting the word panel every 3 lines, actually like considering what you wrote and rewriting it to make sense in the context that you're giving it to us in. Okay, now we are done with advice that Rucker is going to obviously ignore.
Did that include constructives?
That was all that included constructives. Yep.
Okay. Yes.
So my main constructive is in the chase scene. I don't know why the chase scene goes and then stops and then starts again. I kind of feel like it would be better if the chase scene just goes until it stops.
Thriller style, like a thriller. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, like just go for it. I don't really see why she stops. I don't like the cops showing up. I don't really get that. Though it did occur to me that if they're campus police, they could show up there that fast. So I would also consider clarifying that if you want the police to show up that fast, have them be, and I don't mean campus security, I mean actual campus police. A lot of state schools and I guess universities probably do as well. But they will actually contract with like the local county sheriff's department, and the campus police is like a branch of the county sheriff's department. So they're armed, they're uniformed, they drive the same police cars. They just say campus police on the side of them. So I think that could probably work to your benefit. But yeah, like that chase scene, I would just say cut out the middle of the chase scene and just make it all one. I think that would strengthen that, and but besides the undrawable panels of people doing 50 million actions in a single panel, but yeah, since we're all pretty sure you're not going to listen to that advice, I would say do one chasing.
All right, Diane.
Did I not already say something?
Okay.
Yeah, she did. She was confused.
There we go. All right.
Preston, how would you improve this?
I
You don't get off that easily.
all right.
He thought he did.
One that there's
He's really sneaky.
I think there's too many panels.
Yeah.
I didn't know if I could bring it up, but I'm looking at like I got 3 panels in there and a couple of insets, and I'm going, holy cow, where am I going to put all this? He's got 9 panels on the page.
Yeah, I think there's too many panels, and often there's too much going on in the panels. I feel like the story would be better if it did less. If we were focusing more, if we're spending more time like developing, like even just the twins just investigating, like, wait a minute, we found this dead woman who's guilty, stenciled that's our trademark. Who do we think is framing us? And we kind of follow them through more moments. I feel like it would be a bit better. As it is, I feel like there's a lot of, and then this happened, and then this happened, and then this happened, and it creates a really frenetic kind of feel to the story. And yes. So yeah, this I would slow the story down and give it more space on the page. There you go.
There we go. Less is more.
Yeah. All right. And those are all the scripts we had for today. So
Awesome.
All right. Next week, we'll have some more John scripts.
Yep. I got.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I may have a script. Who knows?
More Lords of Iron?
More Lords of Iron. Yeah.
I'm still working on my script, but there will be more Haunted Head soon.
Yeah, I think issue 3 opens with a debate.
Haunted Head sounds like my last ex-girlfriend.
There you go.
Wah wah.
Anyway, all right. Well,
All right. Ciao, everybody.
Take care, everybody. Good night.
Good night, everybody.
Night, everybody.